He might not be from Krypton, but he's heads above the rest. His knowledge can't be questioned. You can put it to the test. So if you want to hear the truth and have nowhere else to go, I'll give you the solution. Just tune into his show and just kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod. Kneel before Zod.
And welcome everybody to the Late Night Talks. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never media show, money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain on all of this fucking platform. Today is unfiltered, don't give a fuck, too lazy to find topics night, so we're just gonna bullshit our way through and hope we entertain you. I am hyped, this is the cause of a lot of monsters.
You didn't say Zod at the end of that, and I'm PB.
Oh, by the way, I am General Zod, because fuck it, we're going to use the old monochrome tonight. We're going old school tonight. I am General Zod. This is Mr. Pop Culture PB.
I'm sorry. I started laughing because I could see a foot.
I know. There's a random foot here. Whose foot is it? I don't know. It's a fucking crazy night tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. So tonight is our chill night. We're just going to shoot the shit. We're going to talk crazy. I love being able to sometimes just let loose and go nuts. I guess not being monetized does have its advantages. I could do a show tonight about just bullshit and try to entertain you
did
guys.
A show about bullshit when you were monetized. Dickhead.
I know, we actually did. We did a show about dicks while I was monetized. How that didn't get demonetized to this day, I will never figure out. But first, I'm going to start off by saying, hi, Rebecca. I did not ignore you. When I'm on other people's streams, it's a little bit different. But welcome, kitty cat. We love you over here. Please stay. Stay with Zod. Stay here. Besides,
leaving.
Rebecca,
He has catnip.
I do. There is catnip here. Geekocidal Tendencies, what's up? Catalyst, hello. Sean B, how are you, Sean B? Planet Q's Queen, we have your boy Gary, and Gary, stop commenting. I sent you a link twice. Laura B, what's up? Let's see. And I think that's it. But that's Sherry. Sherry just dropped in. Hi, Sherry.
You got a bunch of people here that didn't want to come to my stream. Sad times.
Yes, I know. Hashtag the penis stream. I wanted to start off this little shindig by just randomly talking about shit. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that I am liking talking against people coming out talking against Marvel for no particular reason at all. I'm a DC fan. I am very critical of Marvel movies.
Whoa. You're telling me that General Zod is a DC fan.
I know, shocker. But I do think some of the issues that I'm hearing are just, yes, I am a DC shill, perp, 1,000%.
What the fuck? Perp shows up here too. He didn't show up to my stream. Fuck you, Perp.
But I do have to say, I get tired of always hearing and PB, this is why I like having you, because I like to consider you the Marvel shill. You can say you're not, but you are.
I'm an MCU shill. I'm not a Marvel shill. I'm not sitting here going, you remember that third Fantastic Four movie? Fucking fire.
No one remembers the third Fantastic Four movie.
I never watched it.
Good. I did.
Bad.
Michael B. Jordan could save that.
Ugh.
But here's the thing, people. Stop the hate. It's boring. It's unproductive. Talk about penises.
No.
There's so many other interesting things to talk about. I find it hilarious just going through and watching my feeds, and all I see is the same boring ass, oh my God, they did this week. Oh my God, this was so terrible. I've been actually to a point where I'm watching on YouTube instructional videos on writing.
You're going to write something?
Yeah, PB, I won awards for writing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I was published for my poetry. This is a side of Zod I don't show.
Gay.
People did heavy spell checks for me and grammar, but
You mean they rewrote everything that you put on the page because they're like, nah, man, you can't put a preposition there. I don't know where the preposition goes, but I just like saying the word preposition. So here we are in the preposition.
Dude, I gave my editor a coronary a couple of times.
A coordinary? Yeah, they fixed that one for you too.
Yes. God, I feel like I need an editor for what I just speak. You're like, no. What he meant to say was
you need the watcher narrating your life.
No. Fuck the watcher. You know who I want narrating?
What's wrong with the watcher?
No, Morgan Freeman. I just want a random ass Morgan Freeman voice to be like,
oh no, well, do it the other way then. What you mean to say is you want Morgan Freeman to be the watcher.
Oh my God. Imagine what if with Morgan Freeman narrating.
And there was Thanos in his garden, getting ready to die. Either get busy living or get busy dying.
Dude, you know why Endgame and Infinity War never won any awards? They missed the key part. They needed somebody to narrate it who has that voice. You know? Even look at Bruce Almighty. Everybody loved that movie. Nobody complained that they made God black. You want to know why? Because at first everyone was like, oh my God.
Because
literally
Morgan Freeman's a god.
Yes. And then they said Morgan Freeman, and everyone's like, yeah, I could totally see that.
They went, I've seen a lot of people on this earth. Definitely he's the one that should play God. I like
it. I'm not even sold that he isn't God. I mean, how long has Morgan Freeman been alive? Anybody in the chat? How long has that man been alive?
Oh, fuck, man. Does he still do his science show where he narrates?
Yes. I'm pretty sure Morgan Freeman is God. If there is a...
Nicolas Cage is God.
No, Nicolas Cage is Jesus. Morgan Freeman's God.
There you go.
Wait, who's the third one then?
There isn't a third one. There's the fucking apostles.
Hold on. Who? Yeah, you butthole. Be a better Christian.
I never got the Holy.
Know that.
I never got who the Holy Spirit was supposed to be. Anyways, I just thought that was a state of mind. See, this is why I don't talk religion, because there's so many of these fucking things you have to adhere to. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and all this, and then you go, okay, I get the Father, I get the Son. What the fuck is the Holy Ghost?
How do you get the Father?
Because he was just there. He was like, I'm bored. Oh shit, let me create something. Oh, look, we got people. No, I'll fuck with their lives.
Catalyst asked, what color is God? My answer would be all of them.
Oh, we're going in hot because we're talking about something that everyone says we shouldn't talk about.
He's 84.
See?
Gary said he's 84.
I'm telling you right now, that man does not look a day over like 50, maybe
Oh,
60.
I thought you were gonna say he don't look a day over 85. Dude, some people look rough for their age. Give them a break.
Laura B says Morgan is
Morgan.
God, and that's religion.
That was a
Exactly.
question, though. That's a question. Was it meant to be a question? Because I read that as Morgan is God, and that's religion?
Yeah, exactly. To me, canon. Morgan Freeman, God. Nicolas Cage, Jesus. That's bam. I don't know if we're going Holy Ghost.
I mean, I do like the fact
Keanu
that
Reeves?
I thought you were going to say Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is an apostle.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, he pulled it together now, like at the end of his career, but he has some rough times there.
You know, you want to hear a terrible joke?
Might as well. It's a balls out stream. Let's do it.
Okay, the Holy Spirit used to be Harvey Weinstein because he gets inside of you.
Oh God. Oh.
Yeah, I told you it's a terrible joke.
And
You're
welcome to
welcome.
the stream where we go to hell, and
We
if
go
you're
to hell
laughing,
and
you're somewhere with
everybody
us.
loves it. Everybody loves a terrible, terrible joke.
I was just like, I got to get back into doing these Saturday streams, right? And normally, believe it or not, guys, I do go on to the Google feed and look at articles that interest me. But I was like, fuck, I'm getting back into the doing Fridays and Saturdays. I'm like, what's a good way to start Saturday? Let's just talk about anything. And then I get here and I'm like, what's the one thing we should talk about? Let's talk about the thing we shouldn't talk about. Religion, anyone?
Right? Religion. We could talk some politics too, guy. You talk masking politics. You want me to blow everybody's mind here?
Oh, uh-oh.
It's
Are we
not
gonna
going to be
get
good. It's not going to be good. They're all going to be upset with me.
I mean, how could it? Everybody in the chat, if you think that you wouldn't be upset with whatever PB is going to say, put a 1. If you think you're going to be pissed off by what PB is going to say next, put a 2. We'll let them vote on it. While we're voting, let's get to some of these questions. We got the Catalyst saying, question, does anyone think JD Layers or Laird look is a bulletproof vest? Okay.
I know what it's not. It's not a mask.
Cade said, wait, let me get my balls out since it's a balls out stream.
Oh, God. I mean, it's
We
warm
got
in here.
Morgan Fakeman.
Well, hello.
Hello, Morgan.
You need a new suit, Mr. Zod? Yeah, well, 3 buttons are a little bit 90s.
Don't worry, he's gonna pair it with a bolo tie.
A boat.
Okay, so we got a 1, we got a 69.
Of course we do. Fucking
It
Shalana.
wouldn't be a stream without a 69, 69, 69, 69, 69.
You got another one.
Who's that, Jerry?
All right, so no one's going to be offended. We're only at our normal 13 listeners. Go ahead. Let's say this offensive joke. Get it right
It's
out
not
there.
a joke. It's not a joke.
Oh.
Fucking hell, guy.
Oh,
I said
God.
not. I said not everything is a joke. Just most things. Anyway, so Johnny Depp was at this film festival thing, right?
Oh, go on.
He went to that film. You see this? Have you seen these
Yeah,
videos?
I saw that.
Right. So you saw the videos of, let's say, the day before when he arrived, and he was driving through the crowd and walking through the crowd, and everybody was elbow to elbow and breathing all over each other, and I didn't see a single fucking mask in sight. Did you?
No, I did not.
Now, the interesting part of that is just from observational, anecdotal evidence, right? This is just me looking around, and obviously I can't see everybody. It seems like a lot of the JD community is pro mask, pro vaccine, which I don't have a problem with until you mandate that I do stuff. That's what I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wonder, I've been wondering this for about, I don't know, month and a half. At what point is some local municipality, county, state, something like that, 'cause I don't think it's going to work nationally, going to take it that extra step and make the mask equivalent to your pants? And if you don't have your mask on, you can get your fine or you can be jailed, because that, sir, is indecent exposure, the same way if you're walking around like Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, that's a good point.
Is a good
I
point. But I find it
don't.
interesting that all of the love that I was seeing for him over the last few days, I was like, oh, here's another video, here's another video, here's another picture, here's another picture. It's going crazy, which I expected after I knew it was happening. Not a single fucking person called out anybody for being so close to everyone, literally going out of your way to touch extra people, whether you're just shaking hands or doing a high five or whatever. I didn't see any of
Where
these
was this
people
at
calling
again?
this out. Wherever this frickin' film festival was in like frickin' the Czech Republic or Belarus or something like that. I don't remember where the fuck it was at. Someplace in Eastern-ish Europe.
Okay.
I
Interesting.
mean, I can totally. You know what? I can totally agree with that.
Not to mention the fact that apparently Johnny Depp is an addict. We don't know if he's currently using. Doesn't look like he is. I don't think that he is. But apparently, being an addict gives you those extra comorbidities and pre-existing conditions that make COVID just a real motherfucker to deal with. And he's just walking around willy-nilly around all these random people that you have no idea who has and who has not coughed in their hand.
I mean,
Well, isn't most medicines and stuff like that, like, well, the liquid kind anyway, made of alcohol, right? So
yeah.
just drink, you'll be okay.
Yeah, you know what?
It'll kill
And
all the bugs.
you know what though? For me, I see this as a good reason that some of this is blown out of proportion. For me, that represents Johnny Depp doesn't have the fear that he is going to contract this. He cares enough to put himself into that position to show that the love back that the fans have showed him.
That's
You
a
could
nice
take it in
point.
either direction, really. Or if you want to be on the other end, we'll say the turd end of things, you can say, look at him perpetuating the stereotype that he's not wearing a mask or being safe, blah, 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 blah. So actually, in a sense, that's an interesting question you bring up, because you could spin it any way you want to.
No, you're right.
Oh
You
yeah.
can spin it any way you want to. But on average, it seems like a lot of the people that are posting about it now are the same people that would be like, you need to get vaccinated to save me. That's
That's
Yeah.
fucked up. I shouldn't have to
Well,
do anything to myself medically for you to be saved if you got the vaccine. You're good.
let me ask you a question. This is the only reason why I'm showing my face right now, is because this is a serious question. Okay. Would you rather have someone, not wear a mask in front of you, or put feces in your bed, which would you rather be around?
And Gary,
Yes,
with
I'll have to.
that was an excellent question. And sir, I'm gonna tape option A.
There you go.
Every
Option A
day
seems
of the
like
week.
the wise choice.
Even Catalyst said, no mask. I think Gary just made an argument we could make to everybody in the world about this. We could take this all the way to the top and be like, hey, you want to mandate it? Mandate this? Let me ask you something, sir. Let me ask you something. Would you rather have no mask or feces in your bed when you wake up? Boom.
Now, follow-up question. Why? Like if we gotta say if again because I'm not so sure. If all of these people love him the way that they do, why, oh why, do they want him to go out and do these things instead of him being protected? I don't know, like on an island all by himself where the virus can't even get to you.
Because they don't care about this shit. This shit is bullshit. I mean, look, the virus is there for sure. It's real.
Forever.
It's a thing, you know? But how much is the mainstream media playing this up?
Oh, 100%, maybe 200%. I don't know. It usually depends on what stupid thing Joe said last.
I would like to just preference this. First of all, if you guys don't know, Joe's being impeached, or they're trying to impeach him because of something stupid he did. And I actually knew people who got hurt in the bombing that took place, and that's a whole nother different subject. But besides that, and that incompetence, I just want to say this. I know people who have personally gotten the apocalypse, and they've been hospitalized. So I never take that credit out of there. I also know people who, a coworker that I talked to personally, who got vaccinated and got diabetes, hadn't had it in his family, from Mexico. And when I say from Mexico, very questionable from Mexico, but he's a great guy. Love him, good worker, whatever. That's not the point.
Oh, definitely a good worker.
Anyways, has no family history of it. Took the shot, got diabetes.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, is that if you're going to put out all these statistics about the virus, fine, fair enough, even if I think the numbers are greatly conflated just for some kind of push towards things people don't want to do. But fine, even if the numbers are true, then on the same side of the coin, for this vaccine that you quickly rushed out and we really don't know what the effects are, you should put those numbers out too. And here's the fascinating thing, because several people within this community DM'd me and sent me a couple of different podcasts and people talking about this. Doctors have even come out and said that there are very real side effects to this that are not being stated. And I think that information should be shared equally. If you tell me what the side effect is, even if it's negative, then I have a more informed decision. And that's what pisses me off the most about it. I would not be opposed to getting a shot, even if it is to make everybody's fees feel better. Okay, fine, I'll play ball. But I'm also not going to go in like a fucking idiot and go into something blind. Look, tell me a third head's going to grow out, so at least I have the fucking option. Be like, well, can I live with a third head? Might be cool.
A third?
Yeah, I just get a twofer.
Oh,
That's my luck.
That's it.
I mean, at the very least, give people all of the information, and this is what pisses me off. I don't care if you want to inflate it one way or the other. And Squirrel is big on this too. And if you guys haven't, go check out Mad Squirrel's channel. She's dove into this from the beginning. She's not even opposed to the whole vaccine thing. It's the information that's being presented should be accurately portrayed to everybody. Because even if there's side effects, maybe people think that risk is worth the overall risk. But if you don't give them that option, then they can't make an informed decision. And this is about anything in life. You want to drink, you know what the consequences are. You could act like a fucking idiot. You can get into car crashes if you drive. We have it all. If you smoke, you know, you can get lung cancer, you can cough, you can have problems being an athletic runner, whatever, but you know, and you make that choice. If you smoke weed, you're just happy and you eat shit. Smoke weed. Anyways,
Sometimes you
disclaimer,
fall
because of
asleep.
YouTube, don't smoke weed.
Yeah,
Blah, blah,
no.
blah, blah, blah.
Like, that's probably the worst thing that's gonna happen to you, PB, is you fall asleep.
Or you fall asleep after a long days of work. But anyways,
Right.
the problem that I have with this is not, and I hear people who tell me this argument all the time. And look, I tell them, I don't have a problem. You got a fucking shot. What my problem is, people are telling me I have to do something. And it's not even that they're telling me I have to do something. I was in the military. I'm used to taking blind, stupid fucking orders that make no sense to me. But
Mhm.
even if it was bullshit, I got a reason. Even if I didn't like the reason, well, I signed the contract. Get where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
There was at least some semblance of me having there's the problem, there's the solution, and then there's the explanation. And we have the problem, we have the solution, but we don't have an explanation of why the solution is the way it is. There's nothing there. It's just accept it. And everybody who comes to my channel or all these other channels, if I don't accept a bad fucking Harry Potter movie, I'm not going to accept something that directly affects my life without some fucking context and meaning.
I need you to put Geekicidal Tendencies comment up because he is correct. I can solve this. No, not that one. Fuck.
No, I
I
like
see,
that one.
I see the one you're looking at.
I
Yeah, this
can
one.
solve this Vax problem. Give 2 free grams of cocaine with a Vax. Solved. I'd get
mean-
shot up 6 times.
You know what?
Indeed.
I don't know about you, PB. I'd be there the next day.
I'll leave the stream.
Yeah.
Guys, we gotta go. We're going to get vaccinated. I'll show the shit out of it.
Vaccinated. We're getting vaxxed.
No, I hear what you're saying though, man. 'Cause,
Catalyst
you know,
says
I
Zod
joined the-
agreed.
Oh.
It's being forced, and we're supposed to be a democracy. Ha. Yeah, I agree with that. Laura B says, I
Sorry.
decided
What's up,
to
John B?
vaccine for social reasons, which, see, Laura B, that's my problem. They're hitting people or trying to hit people where they know it's going to cause pressure. And I don't like that because it's an oxymoron. They come out and say it's your choice, but then they come out and say they're going to limit this, 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 and this unless you do it. And that's where my issue comes in.
Yeah.
If you want people to
Exactly.
do something, don't make them feel like they don't have the choice to do it. What's the best tactic to sell anything? It's the illusion of choice. Even with Marvel, I know they corner the fucking market and they're not giving me an option, but they're giving you the illusion of the choice, right? You think this product is shit. Well, we got this brand new one. You want to see this, don't you? You want to see this, don't you? Well, you got to get through this shit or you can't see this. And in my mind, I'm going, I fucking hate these greedy bastards, but if I don't see this, then I'm not going to understand this. And it's the
Yeah.
illusion that I have a choice, right?
Gaslighting
I really
is
don't.
crazy.
I got to see shitty B to get to maybe good A, but they know that. See, they
Everybody
can have
likes some
Disney
good
market
A.
a fucking vaccine.
Well, that's the only reason why Captain Marvel did as well as it did, you know, because they fed us that same bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah,
the
it
end of,
was the illusion that there was something better, which in the end there wasn't, but I'll admit it, all of us. We were going to see it. Whether we say it was a train wreck or not, it was that, oh, but there's something that leads to Endgame. That was the biggest movie ever, right? So
Yeah.
we didn't have a choice. We had the illusion of a choice, but our minds and choice was already made up. And if you could sell something like that, then hell, that's how the world runs. I don't have an issue. But when you're blatantly taking the ability to make a choice out of people's hands, that's why we have such a split debate, and it's so hateful. And I wish people came on my channel, because we seem to have a nice talk about these things. I've gotten comments where people have said, I like the way you approach this. It's because I'm not saying you're an asshole or you're wrong if you took the vaccine. And I'm not saying you're going to dissuade my decision. I'm saying let's talk about it. What the fuck happened to talking about something, right? That's crazy.
It's hateful.
Talk
It's
about it.
hateful. That's a hate crime.
I mean, why can't we talk about it? It's so fucking
You're not
simple.
allowed to talk anymore.
Because
First Amendment right
feelings
is
get
gone.
people killed. And if you hurt somebody's feelings, it's tantamount to murder.
MC Planet Q's Queen's got another point. See, this hasn't happened to us yet, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and Squirrel let me on to this after I read this comment. She said, I got vax so I could go back to work, but we barely have anything right now. And here's my issue with that. That is a hard push towards something. It's like, oh yeah, you have a choice, but you won't make money and you'll starve. But here's the thing. Under each state regulation, you can fight that in court. Now, granted, that'll cost you more money or whatever else. People won't go that route. But we are protected under the Constitution and under the state law. See, state regulation can be, especially with jobs, fought for the simple reason that this is not FDA approved. So this is what an experimental drug. You cannot legally be forced to take an experimental drug. You can't fight it in court. And 9 out of 10 times you can win. And if more people did it, they would be forced to get it FDA approved. That way it's not hindered by state law. So this is where there's a lot of misinformation and people not given the proper information, like I said, and I didn't even know about it until Squirrel told me about it, because they were talking about forcing us to do it. But the mall doesn't want to lose people, so that shit ain't happening. We already don't have enough people as it is. So that's where that's where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with the idea of getting a cure or a vaccine, because despite
It's definitely not a cure.
It's not a cure.
No.
It took fucking years to cure polio, okay? And fucking measles and everything else, okay? It didn't fucking happen in a couple of months. You're full of shit. I don't have a problem with a new flu shot, because let's be real. That's what it is. It's a new flu shot, because you got to get boosters and everything else, just like the fucking flu, okay? My
so
issue
stupid.
is, if you're selling this to me, don't make it feel like it's not my choice. That's the big
Right.
thing. Wearing the mask thing, look, it's uncomfortable. It's bothersome. I heard a decent argument for that. I can kind of get both sides of that. Fine, so be it. Honestly, I'd rather take the forced mask mandate as opposed to the forced vaccine mandate, where I'm putting something in my body and I don't know what the fuck it does. The mask isn't going to hurt me, it just fucking annoys me. The vaccine clearly has physical effects, and that is my issue.
It does. And I can attest to that, because I did get the vaccine. I got the Pfizer, the 2 shots, And after that, I wasn't feeling too well, And now all of a sudden, like, it's been weeks since I've had it, but I get these weird headaches,
And I've been
So-
told there's all sorts of. Squirrel has this. I wish Squirrel was on tonight, because she has like the breakdowns and all that shit. But Geekasile Tennessee says CNN fired 3 employees about a month ago for coming to work without being vaxxed. Yep, and that's where I disagree. Kyle said, Hello, all drugs are experimental now, no matter how long they haven't had a patient or sat on a shelf. I agree with that, Catalyst, but that's the exact problem. And I don't take any of those drugs unless I absolutely positively have no choice.
He takes the good drugs.
Yeah,
And like you were talking about earlier, man, just appeasing people. The only reason why I did it is because my parents were begging me to do it.
Gary, you need to take the vaccine.
I know, I was just like, fine, I'll fucking do it. Shit. So I did it. And plus, of course, eventually I want to be able to travel overseas, and I have the card now, so where I can.
Finally
But
got your passport.
no, I've had a passport. I just didn't have that.
actually,
This
Nicole brought
vaccine
up a
jab.
great point. She
You say
said,
so.
passport right here, and you can't see what's on it, but it's there. All right, it's done. But there are after effects from this shit, and I'm here to tell you right now, there really is, because now I get these like weird little headaches, like it's like in the back of my head that I've never had before. But I mean, it affects everybody differently. That's the thing. So you can do it if you want for peace of mind. You can do it to appease people, but just know that if you do it, you may react different to it because everybody else has. There's
um,
different side effects and shit like that. But this is mine. I get these little headaches now.
I like what Nicole said. She said, "Oh, the vax. I'm not an anti-vax, but this one's a little iffy." And that's my next point to this. And I didn't even know we were going to get into this because, like I said, random topics. But to touch
Mm.
on that, Nicole, I 100% agree. And this is the other thing that pisses me off: the media directly calling everybody anti-vaxxers. Look, I can't fucking stand those people because they go to the extreme. An anti-vaxxer does not believe in getting any vaccine. That means for measles or mumps, for polio, all of that stuff. And their kids and things like that wind up getting all of the diseases that have been eradicated for fucking years. That's an anti-vaxxer. They won't do any of that stuff. Some of it's religious reasons, some of it's spiritual, whatever. I've never agreed with that. But calling somebody an anti-vaxxer because they don't want to try something that literally just came out a month ago that you're forcing people to take, that's not an anti-vaxxer. That's fucking common sense. It's like, maybe I want to see what happens to, like, being that we're all guinea pigs apparently now. I want to see what happens to this group of people before I just sign up to take something. I don't know what I'm putting into my body. Not only that, if you guys have been following me a while, I'm a martial artist. I don't like to put
What?
anything in my body. Yeah, true story. I don't like to put
That's
anything
not
in my
what
body I
she
don't know.
told me. She
Well,
said
wait.
you like putting all kinds of stuff in your body.
I mean, it depends on what the activity is. That's not the fucking point. Anyways, I think
Oh shit.
I I think that it is it's very smart to kind of figure out what's in something before I just shoot it in there. Sherry said, I have a muscle spasm. I know where you're going with that. I have a muscle spasm near my spine for the past 18 days since I got the shot, and that's just it. I've been hearing a lot of this from different people too. And anybody in the comments, let me know. Have you had a good experience with it, or are you going through some stuff you didn't have before your shot?
Bo, yeah, that's a great comment right
B
there,
says,
Bo.
I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-mandate. I 100% agree. Look, I don't think that things should be mandated. I think that if you want people to effectively co-sign on to something, you should have them have choice. Even if it's the illusion of choice, we live in that kind of society, but make it fucking like an illusion. Don't be like, yeah, you got a choice, but you can't go to a concert, you can't go outside, you can't go to a bar, you can't travel out of state, but you could still not get the shot. can't work. but it's your choice. Your choice. You don't have to get the shot. Your choice. I mean, you can't live, but it's your fucking choice. You can't have fun.
I
You'll
thought
slowly
that
go
we were
crazy.
told not to ostracize the lepers.
That's what I heard. Vax passport, medical apartheid, and
Oh, God.
apartheid.
Well,
Did I say that
this is
right?
gonna be my
You haven't
personal
heard about
opinion.
the doctors leaving because the patients they were treating were unvaccinated?
All right. This is my personal humble opinion when it comes to the vaccination, man. You guys don't need it, man. You really don't. Because when you if you do get diagnosed with COVID, there's a 99.9% of you know, you get over it. You know what I mean? What's the
You'll get
word?
over
What's
it.
the word I'm looking for?
You
You'll
get
become
better. You recover.
immunized?
Recovery rate, yeah.
Ah,
So you'll be fine. It's like a common cold, and they're just trying to play it up, and they're politicizing the hell out of it right now. But you'll be okay. But it's still your choice. If you want to get it for peace of mind, go ahead and get it. If you don't want to get it, don't worry about it. That's just my humble opinion. I did it just to appease people in my life, you know, and to be able to travel legally because of how much they politicize this shit right now. That's the only reason why I did it. But there are side effects, and I'm a testament to that, you know, because I can tell you the side effects that I have. But like I said, it affects everyone else differently. You know, it just depends on how your body reacts to it. So, but it's a God. See, now I think it's affecting my memory with words and stuff like that. So it's an experimental vaccine.
And hey, just call me Hen. And Nicole said, "Well, Gary, sadly, I'll see you in the if your loved one has suffered from the beer bug vax, please call 1-800 class action lawsuit. Hopefully, we make it until they rush some new BS. We're all fucked."
And I love that avatar, by the way. That's awesome.
terrifying.
I mean, you know, and this is just the thing. I'm just here to say, hey, you know what? I want to dispel the belief that they're putting out. We're not anti-vaxxers on this panel. I've gotten shots for other shit. When I went into the military, I got 10 shots that to this day I don't know what they did. I could be a fucking zombie right now. I'll know when I die. Fuck, I won't know unless someone records it and they're like, this motherfucker died and he came back to life. Anyways, I don't know what they shot me up with, but I signed a contract and I had a choice. And they said, hey, you are going to do stuff you don't want to do. If that's okay with you, sign here. You know what they do? It's called a moment of truth. Why they call it a moment of truth? Because that's an oxymoron, because you go through 3 separate fucking rooms to say, hey, you signed this paper. You sure you're good with the decision? Yeah, I'm good. You get to the second room. We want to stress how important this decision is. Do you want to sign this? And it's like, fuck, yeah, I think. Okay. Third room. We're not shitting you. You are really positive you want to sign this. Fuck, man, now I don't know. I mean, I was confident in room 1 and room 2, but fuck, I'm starting to have some doubts here in room 3. I'm like, I guess. And then they're like, well, and shit went the way it did. But I had 3 points in that process where they said, are you sure? You're really sure? We're not fucking playing. Are you positive? And I said yes, yes,
Well,
and
that's
yes.
good.
Yeah, so you got options. And that's what I'm saying. I want to, say that there should be options and you should know everything. That's my whole point, is that fine. If you want to push this as the thing that people have to do, because it's not a choice, media, stop lying to us. You're saying we have to do it. you're
Exactly.
putting everybody in a corner that's forcing them to do this, then fine. Fuck it. It's not the first awful, uncomfortable thing I've had to do in my life, but at the same time, either give us the information or give us the illusion of choice. One of those two things will do, but don't withhold information and not give us a fucking choice.
They're always gonna withhold information, though. That's the thing, man. Like, how much of this fear mongering can we continue to take, man? Especially with mainstream media, they base everything off of fear. Like, they'll tell you these things, like, where are these numbers coming from? Like, somebody can get hit by a car and be in critical condition and then get to the hospital and die, and they'll say, oh, it was COVID.
Giga Style Sentency said,
Yeah.
did you get the option to heap your lawyer
Have your
over
lawyer.
the contract? I bet not. No, I did not get that option. It was strictly a personal decision. I felt at the time, maybe when I got to the third fucking room, I needed to call my lawyer in just to make sure, because I was like, rooms 1 and 2, I was like, oh, okay. Room 3, I was like, what the fuck did I sign? Like, am I gonna be fucking deploying a nuclear warhead? Like, what the fuck? BB says, I and my children have already had the apocalypse last year and overcame it naturally. Getting the vaccine that doesn't stop
There
or
you
cure the apocalypse, you can still get the apocalypse, still transmittable, and side effects. You know,
Fair point.
yeah,
Fair point.
and that's a fair point, and that's what I'm saying. All these things should be at least given to the public. Like, there's things I can understand withholding certain information, like aliens. They're fucking out there, people. Never mind, that was a different thing. Okay,
No, they are.
I-
I agree
you
with you on
know,
that as
I've,
well.
I've been to fucking Roswell. There's not fucking aircrafts in those hangars. I'm very positive. They're too fucking weirdly shaped, okay? So
Well,
fuck
they are
you.
aircraft. They're just not from here.
Yeah, and it's not a fucking weather balloon. My
Nope.
God. How many times, for the love of God, government officials, come up with a different lie? Men in Black did it in fucking movies. Take down some fucking notes. And please, for the love of God, stop telling us the same fucking story since like 1975. All right?
Mhm.
Anyways, got sidetracked for a second. Anyways, you know, at the very least, all I'm saying is, I don't, you know, and here's the thing that really upsets me. When you have this discussion, there'll be a lot of people who will, and I've encountered this myself, they'll get very hostile and aggressive when I haven't taken that tone. I'm like, I respect your decision, but here is where I disagree. And all of a sudden they're like, well, you're fucking terrible. You're putting my life into danger. I'm like, no, I'm explaining to you my reasons. Why the fuck are you talking to me if I'm putting your life in danger then? So you literally put your own life in danger to tell me how bad of a person I am. Who here has the stupider argument? I'm just saying. I mean, come on. MegaJetty1 says, at South Santa, Phantom Zone, vaccine are a means of evolving to be stronger against future diseases. Watch X-Men 2, two-parter Time Fugitive. That'll help you understand antibodies. No, I get it, MegaJetty.
Yeah,
What
get
I
that
don't
too.
co-sign to is something that hasn't been tested. Even those fucking things in the X-Men
see,
universe.
The thing is, though, our bodies naturally do that, though. You know what I mean? We naturally
Yeah, all the vaccine
create
does is
our
speed it up.
own. All the vaccine is giving you the disease so that your body will create antibodies for it. But you don't need that. Just let it come naturally and let your body create the antibodies naturally. That's the natural course of life and the human, you know, what we are. But that's why I've never taken the flu shot in my life, and I've never caught the flu. I may have caught a cold once in a while, but I get over it like that, that's your body naturally creating antibodies for these,
And
viruses.
welcome. Do you want to tackle this name? Because I don't want to fuck it up.
Hewlett McGee.
Ulick. Welcome, Ulick McGee. Hopefully, you're enjoying this conversation. And look, tonight's random topics night, but we've been talking about this a lot because
Yes,
I just find it
definitely.
interesting.
Welcome. Hello. Hope you're well.
Uh, Now, just call me Hen. I can't
Hey,
get into
Ann.
the specifics of the different vaccines. I know certain ones take a different approach. There's the Johnson and Johnson, and there's the other one. The squirrel knows more about that than I do, but she says this
Yeah.
vaccine does not have any part of the disease on it.
I don't know either, but all I know is I took the uh shit, what's it called? The one that I took. There's two of them. The, see, I think it's fucking with my memory. Honestly. Hold on. 1 second. The Pfizer. The
Yeah,
Pfizer.
see,
That's the
I
one.
know the Pfizer is different from the Johnson and Johnson, which is different from whatever the other shots are that are
Yeah.
floating around there. But that's my
Yeah.
issue. There shouldn't be different variations if this is practice. They should have one because I don't know about vaccines for the flu, but from how I understand it, those are all pretty much the same fucking shot. I don't think they're different companies with different shots. It's all fucking strange. It's
Yeah.
Mega Jitty One says Adzod's Phantom Zone Wolverine's healing factor was created by advanced antibodies against the plague, and after his antibodies were distributed worldwide, many people were saved. Yeah, but the difference is, Mega Jetty, that's in the world of X-Men. That doesn't always translate here. We've seen many times where these things aren't effective as them.
Mm.
Just call me Hen. I would have to consult Squirrel. I was under the impression some of them did actually have the virus. I couldn't argue one way or the other because I'm not particularly sure. In
Well, I
either
see some
case, even
comments
if it
coming in.
doesn't, I still wouldn't want to because, like I said, it doesn't prove, or I mean, it doesn't uh, give me what is actually in it, and that's just my concern. I don't know what I'm putting into my body, therefore I won't do that, and that goes for anything. I'm a martial artist. uh, when I drink and stuff, even then, when I was doing martial arts and teaching, I didn't drink because I knew what I was putting in my body, and I didn't want to do that because over time it affects my ability to be quick or my reflexes and things like that. Speaking of being quick and reflexes, PB, what do you think about this whole thing?
Oh yeah, his sleeping reflexes have kicked in like a mofo. I'm surprised
So
he's not
glad I
snoring
got
over
you
there.
to jump on here. I don't know where the rest of the late night crew is. I guess they weren't sure if we were having a stream tonight. Oh, thank you. You look and look. That's what this is. This is a conversation. I want to get all angles. I don't know everything about it. I like hearing different points of
Me
view.
neither.
I'm never going to call someone an asshole or shoot down their theory just because it's different from mine. I want to know. That's how people grow. Get different information, different stuff. Some people hear from different countries. They can give an insight to what's in something that I don't know. I think that is the backbone
Mm-hmm.
and what we should be doing with this is having a discussion. The problem is the people who are peddling this shit aren't having a discussion with anyone. That's my issue. There needs to be a conversation had, a civil one, not one where people are throwing names out and insulting people because we're all fucking adults.
Absolutely.
It needs to
Yeah.
be
No,
something
indeed,
that's
man.
discussed. And thank
And
you.
all I'm doing is when it comes to the vaccines that I took, the Pfizer, like I told you, all I can say is be honest about how I feel like I've been affected. You know, I'm getting these headaches, and I'm like I have less energy than I've had before, but I'm still just fighting through it. Because I meditate and all that, and there were some days like even now where it gets kind of hard to breathe. You know, it's like I have to take these deep breaths. And I don't know if it's because of that or if it's a mental thing, but this is just where I'm at right now physically, you know. And that's why I missed a lot of streams like your stream, and I missed a couple of Rob's streams. And, you know, I always try to be there for Keely's streams because that's my girl, you know. So, but, you know, I just
Oh, Mega Jetty
toughen it
brought it
up.
home.
But,
I'm sorry. Mega
no,
Jetty
you're good. You're
won.
good.
He said at Zod's Phantom Zone, what I'm saying is essentially we should find people who are immune to the disease naturally and use their blood to distribute it worldwide to those who aren't. I actually, way to bring that point
Yeah.
home. I agree.
Yeah,
See,
that's a good point.
that's a
But I
good.
got tested though. That's the thing. I got tested. I felt sick one day and I got scared, so I got tested and it came back negative. It was just like a regular cold symptom, you know. And then that weekend, I just went ahead and got the first shot, and then 3 weeks later, I had to get the second one. But ever since then, I haven't really felt the same.
All
But
right,
anyway,
so
yeah, go on. That's a great point. Great point.
Joanne Rotten channel. I'll go check her. I'm gonna assume it's a her. I don't like to assume genders these days. I'll go check out her channel. Thank you for telling me, Mr. McGee. And Planet Keeps Queen said at Zod's Phantom Zone, we need to have these kind of debates because all you hear is everyone else yell at the other person. Exactly, and that's what I like to do. I like to open up discussion about different things because whether it's Johnny Depp, whether it's the fucking vaccine, or whether it's politics, religion, I think the problem with all these things now is that everybody shouts and no one actually talks. Nobody listens. Even my favorite shows, they get to a point where they degenerate into yelling matches or people getting angry. And let's be real, half of that is for views, whatever. You do you. It's part of the flair. But I think the other thing is too, it takes away from the topic and the discussion. And it's not always exciting, but we got 26 people watching. Thank you very much. So, and we got talk generated between all of the people and ourselves and the panel. If we can do it in this small forum, it's funny how you can't see this translate into a larger forum. And the problem is the media and our world leaders are the ones that create this vacuum to where no one can talk about it.
Yeah.
Because they create such mis and disinformation that people readily believe that create conflicts when you try to have a regular conversation with someone. That is my issue. That's why I started my channel. Whether it's
Yeah,
movies.
and then they start to censor you really quick, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Whether
Like,
it's
why do
movies.
why don't they want us talking about this stuff?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Why aren't we
my
allowed to
whole
have that
problem.
First Amendment right?
Rose Matter had a great point. It's been hyper politicized. That's the issue I have with everything.
Absolutely.
And this is the problem we see with everything. With JD, why he got swept up in such a decision. He became part of the political machine. With movies, they become part of the tools of the political machine. And at this point, I'm saying fuck both parties because of the fact that neither side, they're both manipulating and using this kind of a tactic. And it does a disservice to what the original conversation, and it's a fucking important conversation, should be.
Right.
It baffles my mind. It's even problems I have with my own family members or people like that, is that I see this deterioration of wanting to talk about something. They just want to hammer it into your head. And this is my own family. I'm like, chill the
Yes.
fuck out. You know?
Yeah,
It's
I feel you
like,
on that, man.
you know, it's like, let's just sit down and talk about this. Why the fuck are you yelling? I mean, it's not that serious. Yeah, I still say fuck Andrew Cuomo. He's still a douchebag. There's no talk about that. Nicole, exactly. it's argued that it's a virus, it will mutate, and the ones getting vaxxed show signs, but it can spread. Exactly. And that's the whole discussion, is we need to get into everybody. It's the Band-Aid that bothers me, right? This is a Band-Aid, but we're not tackling the core problem and giving what the core solution is. And it's not just this fucking issue. It's everything we're dealing with now. We're not hitting the core issue. We're not talking about the core problem because we're masking it with politics, with buzzwords, with all of this other bullshit, and we lose what the original argument is. And at some points, Gary, I don't know if you feel the same way. It feels like that's the whole purpose. It's misdirection.
Yep. That's exactly what it is, man. Smoke and mirrors.
Smoke and mirrors. Look at this Johnny Depp thing.
Yeah.
We had to force that into light. And why? Because misdirection. And that's what Amber Heard used very ineffectively, but that's the whole thing. I mean,
She tried,
look
though,
at
bless her heart.
I mean, look at everything she does, right? The baby thing. Misdirection, right?
Yep.
It takes the focus off of the horrible deed and goes, "Oh, look at the baby, that poor kid."
Oh my God, yes.
I mean,
just
how
hope
do
that
you feel
child
about
is
these
being
new
taken care
developments?
of. What's that?
How do you feel about these latest developments with the crazy one?
Oh man, there's actually some good stuff happening for Johnny right now, man. I just saw a video that Nerdette did. I forgot what it was. It was some kind of report that. Oh God, I forgot what it was, but it was really very much in his favor, as far as just like calling her out on her bullshit, basically. You know, and that stuff with the baby. Oh man, that was just. It's horrible to say the least. You know, because it's a poor child, man. It's just an innocent little human being, and she's wearing it like a purse. You know what I mean? She's doing everything that she can just to make herself look good in the eyes of the public because she knows that she's lost the public. I mean, how can you not know? And you know she's on social media all the time. You know that she is. And you know, all this talk about I don't post selfies and I don't do this, I don't do that. Bullshit. She's always on it. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
using this poor little baby. I mean, the baby's adorable. It's a beautiful baby. But just wearing it like a purse. Like a brand new purse. Like, look at me. You know, type thing. And feel bad for me because I'm having to go through all of this now, but I have a new child. She's trying to do whatever she can not to be put behind bars. She's pulling out all the stops, man. It's a shame.
Yep. Hey, Lemon Pie, what's up? BB says, what pisses me off is the agenda news and the man in charge who keeps speaking and saying this and is a fight against unvaxxed. It's a terrible and scientifically inaccurate. And
yeah.
I agree. I agree. It's language. This is it's the language of how they're portraying it. Absolutely, 100%. Catalyst says the crazy one is going back to the original argument of I didn't make you lose money or work. JD, you just did. You're fat and old. I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
say fat. That's a fucking
No.
stupid argument. Old, yes. But
Older,
I mean,
but
that's the whole
whatever.
thing. That's the whole thing, though. You didn't really see. This is the thing, and this is my issue with the Me Too movement. You did because you weaponized this movement to your advantage. What she did was the definition
Ooh.
of he stepped down. Okay, first off, he stepped down,
Yeah.
but it was a I'll step down or lose my job situation because
Mhm.
we weren't in the board meeting. We don't know what was said, but I could hypothesize that it was a conversation of, we have this big movie coming up and we would prefer you step down or we have to let you go. And that's bad on optics. The irony of that whole thing is it was fucking bad on optics when you decided which person you were going to have to step down. That was bad.
Exactly.
And look, Disney, I don't blame them because originally I think Disney just wanted an excuse to get rid of that character. Look what they're doing with everything else. So
Oh God,
Disney,
they got woke, man. They got
yeah, Disney, I fucking knew they were always fucked up.
woke.
So
Yeah.
Disney doesn't count to me.
Yeah.
I prefer WB over them, but how they handled this particular situation, I can never back up because it was a very clear choice. And, once again, this swings back to the vaccine thing, right? He was given a choice, but not really. He was put in a corner, and in that corner, you had option A and an option B. And
No,
you could
that-
choose option A, but it was always going to swing back around to option B.
Right.
So there, it was not even an illusion of choice. It was, oh, this has to happen.
Yeah, I think Johnny's been making like all the right decisions lately. Honestly, the tough position that he's been put in, and thank God he got a pay or play contract with the the
I
Harry
will, but
Potter
just give me a
series.
second because I'm
Hey,
literally.
Vinci, how you
She
doing?
says she was telling me I need to open the door and the window, but I said, "Hey, I am streaming.
Why did
These
you
people
fart
don't
or
want to see me
something?
walk all the way over there and open a door."
Are you stinking up the place, man? Open the
I mean, but
door.
my pants are
Open the
on all
window.
undone. I can't.
Well, don't stink up the place, man. Let the woman breathe.
I mean, what are you trying to say? I think I smell very fresh everywhere. You know what? Fuck it. This is one of those kinds of streams. Look, I smell fresh everywhere. Okay.
You know, it is
All
one of
right.
those
There's
streams.
no.
We've
That
been
isn't
doing this
the
from the
issue. We
beginning.
want some of the outside air to filter in because we live in the fucking second floor and it gets
I
ungodly
mean,
hot.
this is like a perfect time for PB to step in. Wake up, boy. PB. PB. Wake up. There's a bear in your boots. Oh, man, he's out.
Mega Jetty One says WB is starting to go the way of Disney to kind of them. Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, here's the thing. Yes, Catalyst PB did fall asleep. Here's the thing. I have to pick the lesser of two evils, and at least WB tries. Disney has given me the finger so many times. I can't co-sign on that. I mean, WB at least has made some stuff that has been going against the grain, even when they do that stuff. The only thing that came out of Disney that both me and Bitchy enjoyed recently was Cruella, and they did a feminist story
Really?
surprisingly well.
But that's Disney.
Was it? Really was it? Because I was going to watch that earlier
Yeah,
today.
Cruella is actually very entertaining. We both liked it.
Yeah,
It was
Keely
pretty
and I
good.
were going to watch that. Well, I was going to.
That was my point. I was
suggested
just see. You don't even listen to me when you're like 2 feet in front.
You were saying it was WB.
No, I did not. I said the thing that Disney does different from WB. See, this is proof. You guys heard everything I said, and she just said the complete opposite, and said that I said it.
I don't understand stupid.
Well, I don't
what?
understand woman.
That's not
No
Jesus,
guy
man.
understands woman. It's all good.
TJH record outlet slot smells like a rose. A rhino.
A rhinoceros. DJH, what's up, by the way, man? Say hey to you.
Mega Jetty 1, I'm a villain. So, yes, I will choose evil. But the lesser of the two evils. I mean, that's my whole thing. I'm a villain.
Indeed, man.
Either way, I'm just picking between Thanos or like, I don't know, who's equivalent to Thanos.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
Killmonger, because I
when-
actually like him.
Oh, yeah,
Planet
Killmonger.
Q's says they are making a second one of that movie. Yeah, I know. It was
Which one?
inevitable. Geek Asylum Tendency says, I agree. Cruella was surprisingly good. Thank you. Hopefully you saw my review and you made an informed decision. And if you didn't, right after the stream, go check out me and Bitchy's review, Just
Oh,
Bitching
yeah.
Cruella. It was actually really fun.
I'm
And
gonna
we were
definitely
both
check that
drinking.
out. I'm gonna check that out, and I'm gonna make Keely check it out too before we watch it because I asked her to watch it with me earlier, but she was just like, nah. So we ended up watching something else. What was it?
But yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, I mean, here's the whole thing. I guess with that whole topic, freedom of choice. Now let's talk aliens because I had some alien comments. Gary,
Ooh.
do you
Yes.
think the Space Needle is indeed a spaceship from another planet, as hypothesized in the great masterpiece that is Men in Black?
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. We are not alone, man.
Sherry, I'm a guy. Yes. You remember that shirt because I was wearing this exact same shirt.
Oh yeah,
For
I
the
was
last
I
stream.
was gonna tell you too. I like that shirt, man. I love the gorillas. They're awesome.
It's the gorillas. I feel like you can wear them more than once.
Absolutely. You know how many
Uh,
times I've worn this shirt on the stream? Fuck it. Who cares, man?
I feel like you've never taken that shirt off since every time you're on
Well,
my stream, it's like, oh well, let me get the
yeah.
long sleeve shirt on.
This one, because it's so comfortable, man. It's so comfy. I do wash it though. Come on, don't get me wrong.
Nicole got PB down. Says right now PB is dreaming of driving a Honda Civic with a big truck chrome grill on the front, taking out a whole family of bears. I agree.
Absolutely.
Geekocidal Tendencies, thank you. I was on your Cruella review stream. Reason why I watched it. I appreciate that. I thought we gave a pretty good review. I saw a lot of reviews that bagged it, and I feel like that's where we get just because it's Disney, they don't want to give them credit. Look, that dog scene was fucking stupid. I agree. But the building of the character was very good. And, surprise, we're talking about anything. Yes, I know, Mega Jetty 1. Thanos is the equivalent of Darkseid. Now, look, I do a lot of reviews, and if you guys notice, I go very in-depth with my review. I did one for Planet Q's Queen, and I love reviewing, and I write. So here's the thing. When you build a character, there's some key things that they did in this movie, and I think where the movie is strongest is how they built the character. They did the Joker, but for a female. Like, you know where she's going to get to. But she's got, how do I explain it? I think Film Mementos explained it best. But why she works as a character as opposed to, say, like Birds of Prey, even though I like that movie, it had gross issues and it was terrible, but I still like it. But anyways, the reason why she works over Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey is for one very simplistic reason that everyone can connect to. She wants to become famous in fashion. That's her driving goal. She goes through a bunch of trials and tribulations, but the goal always stays the same. Now, when you watch Birds of Prey, ask yourself, what the fuck is Harley Quinn's goal in that movie? The answer? Nothing. It's random actions for no apparent reason.
Yeah, I
She
couldn't even
switches
get through the whole movie.
motivations. Yeah, she switches motivations, but they have no reason to justify what the switch is. Now look at Cruella. Her one motive is to become the best at fashion. It's a constant and it never changes. She develops over trying to reach the goal, which is she has the inherent flaws of being possibly crazy, but her drive to this one goal pushes her towards that inevitable crazy that we'll see later, and that's the strength of the movie. Hence the strength of good character development. Your character has to have fucking goals and motivation. That's why every fucking movie falls flat. Because when you throw a bunch of scenes together, but the people you're focusing on have no drive towards a specific goal, the whole thing falls apart. You're welcome. That was a free dissertation. But that's it. You have to have a goal, even if it's fucking stupid. If people know the one motivation for that character, they can almost co-sign on to anything. Look at Doom. I love Doom. It's a terrible movie. But one thing you can say about Doom is that you know everybody's motivation and goals for what they're doing, even if it's outlandish. There's a outbreak. They need to stop it. That changes to killing everyone, but it's still for one main goal. Stop the outbreak on the space station. It's something people can connect to. The reason why a movie flops is when you have characters that have no clear direction or vision or what they want to do. My thing isn't I just hate everything. If you build a character, even if I think the fucking motivation is stupid, they at least have something I understand. If I don't understand what the motivation is, then every subsequent action has no real purpose. It's just look at the CGI or stuff.
Yeah.
It's no substance. And that is where people get things wrong with reviewing.
Well said. Well said.
You
why
can
I trust
have an
your reviews.
agenda-driven movie. That's not the problem with these new films. The problem is the characters are just a billboard for a message. They're not real three-dimensional characters. They're doing things to further a message. And it's okay to have a message, but you need an anchor to carry that message with a clear defining reason of doing what they want to do, right? Joker, one of my all-time favorite movies, and I'll call it a masterpiece. Fight me. I don't give a fuck. That is masterclass filmmaking 101. That movie has political messaging. The problem is the people, including the media, didn't like what that fucking message was. And the message was very simple. We all created Joker.
Right.
Society created the antithesis of chaos.
Damn. That's
And
deep.
it's a real message. And the thing that scares people the most is the movie puts into your mind that anybody could be Arthur Fleck. And isn't that the whole point of Joker? So when they say Joaquin Phoenix isn't Joker, he actually really is. He is, because Joker is the embodiment of chaos. And Arthur Fleck isn't the real focus. It's the fact that he brings chaos and relishes into it. No one gives a fuck about Arthur Fleck. But at the same time, we do. And that's good world and story building. They use what writers call the kick the puppy method, right? When you first start out the movie, why do people connect with him? Because they take his sign for no fucking reason. They beat the shit out of him. That's the kick the puppy method.
Yeah.
It's using a scene to set up a character. That's good character development. What's up, Justin? What the fuck? Are you killing someone right now?
Oh, no,
I just watched this movie, Spree, that was in a car. I'm a little scared.
Yeah.
Just picking up people.
Absolutely.
Throw 'em on
no, I'm
YouTube.
just
Justin, are
driving
you
home.
driving again?
No, I'm just driving home. How you guys doing?
Good. Great to see you, man.
Catalyst said, all right, this is my
Good.
last
Sorry, I'm
night
very
here for
quiet
a
and
long while.
A little bit of a delay.
Sleep will win over partying.
All right, I'll
by,
keep it down.
Take
See
care,
you later,
Catalyst.
Catalyst. Thanks for joining us. Billy Joel, or Billie Jean. Wow, I must be tired. Billie Jean, I agree. Joker was masterful.
Joel?
It was.
Yeah, absolutely. It was.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
gonna-
listening to
I'm
Billy
gonna
Joel.
step
I had
out
it on my
for a
mind.
cig. You got another co-host, man, so you're good. I'm gonna step out for a cig real quick. I'm still listening on my phone, so
Nicole says,
I
love
got
your
some questions
bitching
for you
review."
later too.
Yeah, go get a cigarette, man. I agree. I approve. Nicole says,
Oh, okay. Now
You're-
Zod approves of of cigarettes. Okay, all right.
Nicole says, love your bitchin' reviews. Bitchy Unicorn is so fucking awesome. I wish you guys lived in Florida. You guys need to vacay. Stop at Gary's house in Orlando, Tampa, and I'll buy you drinks and Clearwater Beach. You know what? I might take you off on up on that. I need a fucking vacation. I'll tell you
Yes,
what. Life
I agree.
sucks. There are only two, and Zod and a Zod special. I think it was number 2, but not sure. LOL at LRB. Yeah, you know what? I love doing movie reviews and I love diving into it because I feel like the problem with a lot of reviews I see, they come out of hatred and people judge a movie just based on their personal bias and opinions. And that's what every media outlet does. I write, you guys can see my writing thing I do with Books by Jay, and where we talk about writing and character development and stuff like that. My issues with things come on a more fundamental level. I can say that a movie is good and go against the grain, but there's certain criteria that all movies should follow. The problem with a lot of new movies and stories is that they sacrifice following certain things in order to make a political pandering, as opposed to a good movie where you could still put that shit in there and have a fucking story.
I think you're on the verge of making a very good point, but I'm not sure what it's going to be. So please do enlighten me. What are the certain criterias? What are the criterias that you need that you are referring to just have a movie? Like what are you talking about? Like what the elements are in terms of the story, or are you talking about like plot issues or something like what film critics point out? Like what exactly are you referring to?
Well, what I'm referring to is when you build a world or when you build characters, right? And I talked about this before you came on. The very first thing with any character, it should have a motivation. People inherently have goals and dreams and motivations, right? The first key point of starting off your story when you're building a character should be what drives your character. Because when you're creating a story and you're creating a world, it's still based somewhat on either people you know or yourself. So the first thing should come with the characters themselves. They could be feminist or whatever, but that can't be them. They have to have a dream, a hope, something that they're inspiring to, because that's real life, right? So the first thing I ask myself when constructing a character is, what is their motive? What is their reason for being? This is why Cruella works. It's established in the movie very early on. She wants to be a fashion designer. That's the whole goal. That's the whole point. That's the drive of the story. That aspect never changes. And her beliefs don't hinder that. They add to that one driving goal. And the goal changes her and who she is as a person, but everything is spurred by this one dream. It's almost obsessive level to get to this status. That's what she yearns for. And it's relatable because a lot of us have dreams, right? I want to write or I want to make a good book. That's what I'm aspiring to do. I have a goal. Maybe you want to be a cop or a fireman. Everybody has a motivation, a dream, a goal, something they want to attain, and a way to get there. That's the first step, right? You got to give your character motives. The plot should be shaped then around what the motive is, right? So say you have somebody who wants to be a fashion designer. Well, what are you going to put in there to get in the way of that dream, that goal, whatever they're trying to achieve, right? So you put somebody who's already there and has obtained that dream, but they see potential, but they're not really on your side, right? So this forces your character to change who they are in order to become this template. Now, you can take this one of two ways. Either they change who they are to reach their goal and they don't recognize who they are. They become a different person and you have a whole different another story, or they refuse to change who they are, but they triumph and achieve that goal. But either way, that's going to be the driving force for the plot of the movie. And then the world could shape how the aesthetic of that plot is, right? You have external, or you have like world complications, right? Maybe they get sick, or there's a storm, or something happens, right? Outside forces that they can't control is normally the world around them, right? The world around us is uncontrollable. We have things that can be constant in the world, but things are ever changing, right? So to me, a good world is built on randomness and not being able to control it. So if you say live in Seattle, there's lots of rain. Maybe the rain ruins something, a photo shoot or something like that. There could be other elements that hinder this goal, but you got to start with your characters wanting to achieve something, or what is the point? You can't connect to someone who doesn't have a fucking hope or a dream. They're not relatable.
I agree.
And this is the problem. See, where they mess up is it's not necessarily bad to have a statement, whether it's feminist or whatever, right? Whether it's a black person, a white person, an Asian person,
Yeah,
a Hispanic
the
person.
old. Yeah, you're totally right. There's that old saying, like, what's the moral of the story? Is what they used to ask you as a kid, and a lot of us would be like, I don't know. Sometimes it'd be obvious, but yeah, no, you're totally right. What do we, the audience, take away from the story? What do we, the audience, take away from this character that we are supposed to be, I guess, essentially attaching ourselves to? They're not interesting, then it's not gonna work, and the audience will be confused because we don't know who to root for, who to I guess attach ourselves to it, or put ourselves in the shoes of, if you will. If they're not relatable,
Yeah,
then it just
exactly.
falls flat and it's not fun. But in terms of the plot, I think there's a lot more to that we're not talking about. It involves, we're kind of generalizing it, but it's like, it's specific things. It's like little things, like I get it. If a boom mic comes in, all right, whatever, it's not a big deal. But like, if somebody, like, for example, has a reputation of, not having these stupid mistakes, it's going to be a lot more glaring. And there's also it's just the story structure itself. They pump out these movies way too fast. But in all honesty, like, sometimes, it's like a 2-3 year process, but how much of it is it really on the writing? Like, how much do we really focus on it?
Well, that's
I
true
have a
too,
feeling,
because
yeah.
not to cut you off, but when you said story structure, I want to get to that too. There's another thing too that people forget. Like, there's beginning, middle, and end, but in between that, and this comes from basic writing, there is the beginning, which is the low point, the rising action, which leads you to the high point, right, or the midpoint of your story, the descending action or declining action, and then the resolution. And see, this is where I feel like they skip past this. They do beginning, middle, and end, but they do high octane action, and then bam, it just ends. And there's no point in which the audience has a chance to process what they're watching, right? And I think a lot of people do this to deflect from the fact that their story doesn't really hold much weight. So if their theory is, if you throw a bunch of shit on screen that's really fast and you don't give the audience enough time to process what they've seen, it won't fall apart until after they've seen it, right? Look at so many movies, even with Fast and Furious. And don't get me wrong, I don't particularly have a problem with the franchise. I know what it is, and I still go and see it. But look at their tactic, and it's worked for years. Can anybody tell me, at this point, what the fuck is the story? Well, that's the thing. It isn't really a story.
Well,
It's just a
I
bunch
know.
of
I can
actions.
actually give you an answer. I think I can give you an answer. I can give you a legit answer. What is the story about? What is it really about? Well, aside from fast cars, it is not just about that. It's about the relationships between the characters that you, as the audience, have grown fond of over the last decade, and they stick to that like butter and just keep on rolling with that. They keep the characters that you love, and they keep the ridiculousness of the fast cars. That's all they, and the plots write themselves.
Hey, Chrissy, good to see you. So here's the thing, Mega Jetty, I was just getting to that. There is one director that I love the most. If you guys have been on my channel a lot, you'll know who this is. But Quentin Tarantino is the only person I've ever seen who could tell a story in the reverse. Typically, a Quentin Tarantino movie is an oddity. He's a very rare storyteller, and Guy Ritchie can do it too. There's certain people who could start you at the end or the middle of a story and then backtrack and finish it. But there's specific ways on how they write that and how they do it. Even when they start at the end and they go back to the beginning, they give you clues to follow that all relate to each other. So, for instance, take like the movie Hateful Eight, right? That story essentially, Hateful Eight starts at the beginning. Let me start with, let's say, Kill
Pulp
Bill,
Fiction.
right?
Okay, Kill Bill then.
Yeah, Kill Bill, right? Starts with her getting into a fight with someone, right? We don't know what's going on. We don't know why she's here. She backtracks, but she gets into that fight with Vivica Fox, who's one of the last people on her list. Then it goes back and it tells us all of the people in between. But what he does is he sets up little clues, right? He's giving you the breadcrumbs and then he's filling in the blanks. But the fun of it is you're trying to figure out what the fuck happened, but you're essentially just about at the end of the story. But then he backtracks, but the clues were always there. We know she's an assassin. We know she was betrayed by this person. We know this person has a close connection and doesn't want her to kill another person. We know how she thinks about it because she says, you use your daughter as a shield, you bitch, right? So we know already her moral set and how she feels about killing. So already he set up the world, he set up the characters, and he set up his main protagonists and their thoughts and philosophies going forward to what drives them getting to the point of the story of where he's at. Same thing with Pulp
And you know what
Fiction,
the
right?
best... Do you know what the best part is about that too? Is that it's easy to follow. He does it in a way to make it as easy to follow as possible because we're in for a long ass, fun, violent, bloody ride, and he has to get us on board, and that's how he does it.
Billie Jean had a good one, said, Heath as a Joker was excellent. He was already to the point of crazy and on a killing spree, and Joaquin as Joker was compelling character being transformed into the Joker because society creating him. I agree with that. Mega Jetty 1 says, at Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, on that matter, what is your thought on the method Terminator is told? Should it be mostly present day with future as flashbacks, or should it be chronological? Terminator is interesting because of the fact that they pulled a Quentin Tarantino, right? The original setup of Terminator 1 is that this thing transports into the...
Hold on. I haven't seen these movies, so I gotta dip out.
So, essentially, we start the story with the Terminator coming in and hunting down Sarah Connor. We don't know why he's hunting her down, right? We just know that, it's this thing that's coming for her. We get a sense of it because he kills someone right away, right? And then we're jarred into Sarah Connor's point of view and kind of take the story from there. I think that the flashbacks do help because unlike with most movies, the flashbacks serve a point. They contextualize the world that the Terminator comes from, and they're told from the perspective of Reese. But we don't get that perspective until we've met the Terminator, we've met the Resistance fighter, and we've met Sarah. We've got a perspective of each of them, and I think that's where flashbacks are properly utilized because you've established who your characters are, and now we're going back and telling the story. So yeah, I thought that was effective as opposed they essentially did tell the story chronologically. They just chose to omit certain parts as opposed to starting you off at the ending. You still essentially start off at the beginning, but you get pieces later to how you got to the point in the beginning of the film that you're at. So I don't know. It's kind of a Quentin Tarantino-esque thing. Hey, you're back.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was listening to you guys talk earlier, man. And it was so funny because when you were making all those points about how great movies are made, that I was thinking about the Terminator.
Yeah.
But
Eh,
it's kind of like writing a song, you know, and that's the way I can relate to it. It's because you know, you're building it up to basically the hook of the song, and you know, what is the
I'm live, woman.
Hey,
All
bitches,
right.
we're talking
Fine. I'm
music
opening the
now.
door.
Open that door, get that fart stench out, man. Get it out. No, but seriously though, when you listen to a song or when you haven't heard a song in a while, when the verses are going, you're kind of like, I don't remember what the song is until you get to the hook, which is what everybody remembers. And
Yeah.
that's the part of a movie that is the most important, that hook, but that hook can be played out throughout the movie. So when it came to like, oh, what was the point I was trying to make, man? Like even with the Terminator, there's always those one-liners that are
What?
memorable. Like
I
what's
don't
the
know.
most famous line of the Terminator that everybody knows?
I'll be
I'll
back.
be back. Exactly. See? But I mean, that's the hook right there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
but yeah, but that's how great movies are made though. They have these memorable moments that people can remember lines in. And that's how great songs are made as well, because you can actually like remember lines of a song and not just the hook. You know the hook, but you still remember lines in the verses that
I'll give you an example.
hmm
How I know Cruella at the very least is a good film. I wouldn't put it great, but a good film is that everybody does remember a line, and that's the one where she's at the bed and she goes, shit. I can't remember it because I'm thinking of another example. But honey, what's
no,
that one line
it's
where she goes,
yeah, she'll know.
What do you mean when she goes? That's not specific.
oh, Jesus Christ. You know, the one where she goes, I'm a little bit mad, a little bit.
But and maybe a little bit like no bad, and then it's mad.
She goes, I may be a little bit bad. There was like three things. You're failing me. Failing me.
No,
All
but
right, let
you're
me do an
I mean
easier one.
that is the example right there though. You know, even though you can't remember it verbatim right now, it's still in your mind, right?
Yeah, see, okay, what makes Joker, and I'll argue this till the day I die, a great movie is because nobody remembers that big long speech he was given, but you do remember the end of that speech where he's like, "You get what you fucking deserve." That's a quotable right there because everybody, I can guarantee
Hmm.
you, nobody remembers exactly the whole speech that he gave, and it was a pretty good speech. Don't get me wrong, because he was talking about society and being kicked down, and it's people like you who hold us down and stuff like that. I got the gist of
Right.
that, but everybody remembers that whole one like short little blurb where he's like, "Oh yeah, well you get what you fucking deserve." Everybody remembers that. Like you said, it's quotable because what's attached to it? Out of nowhere, he blows Mary's head off. And I can guarantee you
Woo.
that nobody fucking saw that coming because I didn't even see it coming. And there's some clear signs, but they also trick you because there's signs like he might kill himself. But when he does that shit so fast. I,
Yeah.
I everyone in my theater was like quiet. it was that's when I knew it was a great movie because nobody said shit. And at the end of it, when everybody walked out, it was one of those movies you walk out of, and not because it sucks and you're like, oh God, like Last Jedi. Everybody walked out. We were visibly pissed off. Joker,
Yeah.
everybody walked out, and we were all afraid to address everything that just happened. It's like nobody wanted to be that guy to say, well, that was fucking great, or anything like that, or that was fucked up. It was just one of those movies where you're like, fuck.
I know,
Like,
right?
There's so many.
Yeah, and here's another example. In movie Seven, remember? The famous line from that.
See, Sherry remembers. I'm Cruella, born brilliant, born bad, and a little bit mad.
There
Yes,
you go.
that's quotable. But see,
That's a
quotable,
spoiler
Gary.
for me. I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
We proved a point because
Yep.
see, Sherry here remembers the line. So, like I said, good movie. People remember that line, and I remember hearing the tag in the trailer, which I immediately knew I wanted to see it out of curiosity. When she said that, I was like, "That's a pretty Cruella thing to say."
Yeah. 'Cause I mean, it proves a point. It makes you feel a certain way too, you know, and that's what a good movie does. Like even with Seven, you know, it's pretty good. But what was the line that everybody remembers? What's in the box?
Oh, that was my favorite part because fuck Gwyneth Paltrow.
What's
I
in
fucking
the box?
hate Gwyneth Paltrow. So when I saw the head in the box, I clapped. I almost got kicked out of the theater. I was like, this is the greatest fucking movie ever made. Fucked up, but John Doe's my fucking hero.
You went a bit dark, but I get it.
Dude, Gwyneth Paltrow, I called it. I said, I don't know why. There's a fucking reason why I don't like this bitch. I can't put my finger on it. And then she came out with vagina stones, and I was like, thank you. I've been saying this shit for like 10 years now. Gwyneth Paltrow is out of her mind.
Stones. Only you would remember that.
Dude.
Vagina stones.
Dude, I'm a guy. I fully know. I don't know how the female human body works like that. But I can guarantee you vagina stones should not be anywhere near that particular part. I don't know. Females in the chat, if I'm wrong, let me know. If you're rocking vagina stones, no judgment. But I'm pretty sure fucking hot stones should be nowhere near there.
Right.
Because I know if a guy came out and said, we have these great penis stones, and if you just put them by your balls, you'll notice a change in the flow of everything. I'd be like, yeah, buddy, I'll let you try that out. You let me know how that goes.
Dude, those are called kidney stones, dude.
Kidney stones.
No, even those stones. Well, yeah, some of that. Yeah, okay.
Oh, good luck passing those. Shit.
See?
Imagine that's what the Infinity Stones were called, the vagina stones. That'd be fucking funny.
Planet Q's Queen said vagina candles.
I just kind
Vagina
of came into vagina stones, and I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, we were talking about quotables, and then he did my favorite Seven because in Seven, Gwyneth Paltrow got her head cut off. So, greatest movie moment ever. And I said, I fucking applauded and almost got.
What's in the box?
Damn it! I didn't see.
Come
Seven.
on, you know what, Justin? That isn't even a fucking spoiler. That movie's from like 15 years ago.
You never seen it?
No, I don't have time to watch all these movies.
Well,
I hear
you're
you.
doing-
Well,
I even had my.
It's all right.
I even had my lovely bitchy watch it, and she agreed that was a pretty fucking shocking ending. And like the way he says everything too, he goes, I tried to. He goes, my sin is what was it? Envy. He goes, because I tried to live a day in your life, and well, let's just say it didn't go well. Dude, I'll never forget that whole line because I was like, I knew something fucked up was coming. But when he said he was trying to play house, I go, yes, yes. And then when he opened the box, like, oh, he got a fucking haircut. Best fucking movie ever. Fucking 10 out of 10. Thank you.
You'll still like it, Justin. No worries, man. You know, I know we spoiled it for you, but it's
Yes,
still a good
thank
watch.
you. Sherry
that's
brought up another
actually,
good point. This fucking crazy bitch, Gwyneth Paltrow, she thinks. Fuck me. She thinks she is a dinosaur trying to birth an egg. She has endorsed. Okay, if you guys haven't seen it, go check out Gwyneth Paltrow's Netflix show. I know, surprise. Netflix endorses something else fucking stupid. She has this company that is the worst fucking company ever. I'm not a female, and I want to protest for females because the shit she peddles has to be, at the very least, highly fucking questionable. With these herbs and remedies and shit she tells women to put in their body, and medical doctors have come out and fucking said shit against her company. Like, this will fucking hurt you. You can't put this shit on there. That's not how the science works. But yet, she makes, and I quote, millions of dollars on peddling this shit to young, impressionable minds. It is fucking disgusting, and I always knew this bitch was wacky. I just never had the proof till, thank God, 2020. Like, yes, Goop. Goop is the biggest fucking outlandish, very highly toxic, dangerous thing that he's peddling. It baffles me. It fucking baffles me how this bitch is able to get away with this shit. I am fucking legitimately confounded and kind of concerned about her mental well-being. I believe she believes that this shit is on the level, and, you know, vagina candle is one thing. That's not directly affecting anyone. It's kind of fucking funny. I get a vagina candle. That's hilarious. But Goop and these herbal remedies and endorsing fucking these faith healers. This is dangerous shit that you are telling consumers and stupid people that it's okay. And let's be real, half of the people who endorse this are young or going through a midlife crisis or don't have any good common sense. And you are misleading them into believing they are doing something to legitimately help themselves that could potentially fucking kill them. I cannot co-sign on that. I think it's
eat a
dangerous.
mud cake, you'll be all right.
Laura B says, agree, Zod, it's disgusting, but a lot of stupids brought them. Exactly. That's the thing. I think it is fucking stupid, and I think it is a fucking shame that this person is given a platform, but then
I'm
let's
one of
just, I mean, let's
I
just
bought some
reflect
stupid
on this. Netflix gave cuties a platform, so are we fucking
Jesus.
surprised at this point? Planet Q Squeed said, the Terminator movies have been out for 30 years, just and proper. There are no spoilers with those lines.
Well, I did. I have
Boom.
seen but only on TV, and I don't think that counts. I don't think that should count.
It still counts. Speaking of one-liners, there was some MJ1 Media came up with a couple good ones. You're failing me. Why so serious? That was never gonna be forgotten.
Oh yeah,
then
yeah.
I can think of one. Go on.
You want to know how I got these scars? My dad, he was an alcoholic and a fiend. And so one day he went a little bit crazier. And he picked up a butcher knife. And he came at me with the knife. And said, why so serious? And I backed up. And he said, Why so serious? Let's put a smile on that face.
Why so serious?
And then
Slice.
Why so serious?
Man, I can't believe I had to suffer through Hancock twice just to get into the theater to see that movie.
Oh,
That-
good
I'm not
night,
kidding.
TLB 2.0.
Night night.
That was not a bad perp. You can't heckle me unless you're on here. Like, that's not how this works.
You better click that link, buddy.
Burp can do whatever he
I don't
wants.
know. One of my favorite ones was from The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls.
You killing me, Smalls.
No, I really liked the kids' reaction when they were calling each other names, and he just laid down the line, "You play ball like a girl," and then like the one kid's face was like, "Oh, he did just say that."
Oh, shit.
Another one was Finding Nemo when he says he touched the butt. I thought that was
The
funny.
butt.
No, I'm gonna go further. I know this is annoying, but I don't know why. This fucking line resonates with me. Say what you want to. I don't care, but just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Because that
Just
Okay.
keep swimming.
that works on
great.
so many levels, right? When you think about the character of Dory, who fucking forgets things literally a second after she fucking hears them,
Mm-hmm.
the whole point of that mantra, right, is to no matter what, no matter how bad things are, right, just keep swimming. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a metaphor for life. So they did a tricky thing where, yeah, it's a stupid line that's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it has a different contextual meaning, and it's actually essential to the character and even sort of a life lesson, right? No matter what happens, no matter what struggles you have, we're kind of like Dory. We just keep swimming. That's some deep shit. Maybe
is.
I just read into it really deep, but
No,
that-
man, I love the way you read into things like that because I'm the same way, and even like I don't know if any of you are into rom-coms, but like 50 First Dates, that was a fucking fantastic movie. too.
Yeah, that was good. I like a good rom-com.
Yeah.
You know what? People will like make fun of you sometimes, like, oh, you like those girly movies. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I stick around because the plot is good. Sue me.
Exactly.
Hold on. We've got some good quotes here.
I'm
Billie
with
Jean
you,
said,
Justin.
Use the force, Luke. And Rose Matters said, There's no crying in baseball.
Yes.
No, my
No
favorite.
crying in baseball.
No. My favorite is the lead up to that. And Tom Hanks is so fucking brilliant when he's like, Are you crying? Are you crying?
Yes.
There's no crying in baseball.
Yeah, the lead up was great.
And the fact that they
The way
threw
he
him out
does
of the
it.
game is ridiculous. They threw him out for being hard, too hard on the girls. Oh my god.
Oh shit. That's so
Nicole had a good thing getting back to that fucking atrocious Goop. Says Goop, she charges like $1,000 for a shit show of bad advice. Honest, if you want a yeast infection, smelly cooch, hate doctors, and have $1,000 in the bank, try our Goop at a home stomach course. Nicole, I love
There
you.
you go. That's
Thank
it.
you so much.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
And there's an
Can you-
episode.
Can you imagine somebody just like, oh, on their gravestone, death by goop? No.
I mean,
Like,
why would you
just
even
hearing
call
the
it
word
goop? Yeah.
We got some
Exactly.
other good
It reminds
one-liners.
me of like more?
Oh, there's no
Okay.
place like home. That's classic.
There's no
that's a
place
good-
like home. Your clothes, give them to me now.
Nice one.
Or, go ahead, make my day.
Uh-huh.
But it's more, go ahead, punk. Make my
Right.
day.
Punk.
I mean, literally, Dirty Harry was one of my favorite movies. I saw that when I was like 13. And I remember he goes, you know,
I'll be
we've
right
been-
back.
we've been doing this for a while now, and I've kind of lost track of counts. Or no, wait, hold on. He goes, the Smith & Wesson Magnum, right? He goes, holds a 6-round chamber. Now, through all this chasing, I've lost count. Did I shoot 5 bullets, or did I shoot 6? Go ahead, punk. Make my day. And of course, he made his day.
Lucky.
It was a bad day.
Yeah.
Well,
that
do
was
you feel
awesome.
lucky? Well, do you, punk? I got, I too like rom-coms, 13 going on 30. Yep, I love rom-coms.
Yeah. I like that one too. 13 going on 30. That's a good one. Especially, there's a lot of them that have like really good messages in them in there as well. Yeah.
Are you God? No. When you're asked, are you God? You answer, yes. Hashtag Ghostbusters 1.
Yeah.
Or, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Classic. Oh, love Gone with the
There it
Wind.
is. There
We're
it
just-
is. That's exactly the one I was
I'll be
thinking of.
all by
Thank you,
myself. What do you do? I can't live without you. What am I going to do?
Shaq.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Like, he said that so formal. I was like, yo, oh my God, say hello to my little friend. I was just watching that the other day.
That's right.
Oh, oh. You want to play rough? You want to play rough? Okay, okay. Say hello to my little friend.
That's all right, Frank. Another Quaalude. She love me in the morning.
Oh God, yeah, Goop. And I'm like, what the fuck? I agree, dude. Rom-coms. Okay,
Goop.
you guys are gonna get a little bit of insight. Gonna
Oh,
give you
shit.
something a little bit special because we're
Here we
going on the
go.
2-hour mark, and I didn't think a random conversation could lead to 2 hours of us talking. Obviously, I don't know what show I'm on. So here we go. My favorite rom-com, the thing that got me into rom-coms, and I don't care who fucking throws things at me or questions my manhood, okay? A Walk to Remember. If you don't cry by the end of that movie, you don't have a fucking soul. This movie is so designed to make you feel like a piece of shit if you're not crying by the end of the movie. I mean, literally every fucking sad thing that could be in a movie. Like, I was just like, when I watched that movie, I tried to play it off. And I was like, nah, man, fuck that. You know, Faith, she had cancer and they got married and she's about to die and he stayed with her till the end. What the fuck is happening right now? Like, dude, that movie.
That's a good one.
That movie made me fall in love with Miss Elba. Like, that movie would, like, everybody says, oh, you know, she's hot or whatever else, but I gotta tell you what, that was the movie that got me hooked on Jessica Alba because, or no, not Jessica Alba, my bad,
Yeah.
Mandy Moore.
Mandy
Moore. It was the way she played that vulnerability and everything else. It was beautiful. And another great movie that was so fucking underrated was 5 Feet Apart. I don't give a fuck.
haven't
Not
seen
only
that
was
one
that
yet.
movie relevant to the times we're living in now, but that was just so fucking tragic. And the end of it, I fucking lost it, man. I lost it. Like, when she tells what happens, and like literally the last scene is him setting up that whole thing. Like, I was like, why the fuck did you go out there in the cold, man? See, he did love you. Why did you question his love? Fucking 5 feet apart. That's all you motherfuckers had to do was stay by fucking Peter
Oh,
Parker. And it didn't even get up.
man,
It was him
Shane
fucking
West.
saving
I
her.
was trying to figure out who the guy was. Sherry told us Mandy Moore and Shane West. Yeah,
I gotta
that
ask
was
you
it.
guys something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. My bad.
Oh no, you're good, man. We're getting all soft here and talking rom coms now, but
Is there ever what's like one movie that you guys just can't help it? Doesn't have to be a rom com or anything, but just a moment in a movie that for whatever reason when it comes up you would just bawl your eyes out. It's just so emotional. It's so sad or happy, whatever it might be. What's one of those moments for you guys?
that's a great question.
Act of Valor. I was, if
Ooh.
you guys don't know, I was in Special Forces. I trained with SEALs, and I may or may not been attached to one of those teams. They were very accurate. And why it got me was there's a scene where a particular, and spoilers if you haven't seen the movie, but it's been out for a while, so I don't consider it spoilers. There's a scene where someone
Okay.
gives up their life and they throw themselves on a bomb to save the rest of the squad. They have a funeral, and in the funeral, they take their pens and they get choked up talking about it. They take their pens and they put them on the coffin. We all have 2 sets of pens. Why you get 2 sets of pens is because when someone passes away, you leave them a pen as a show of respect. Also, it's just in case you lose it and you have to get other ones. But anyways, that's kind of the tradition. So when they have the funeral and they all put the seal pins on the coffin, that's when I lost it. And that's because previously, before this movie had come out, I had lost a good buddy of mine during an operation that was fucked up. Fuck you, Air Force. Jokes. Air Force does shit. But anyways, they
I have some friends that would beg to differ, but go on.
but yeah, it's a long-standing joke, rivalries. But when I saw that scene, it reminded me because the setup was almost like how I had seen that scene. It was rainy day. We still had the funeral, and we all put our pins there. In the movie, it's raining. Everybody's putting a pin on, and it kind of took me back to that place. And that's why that scene is the hardest. I've seen the movie like 3 or 4 times, and still, whenever it comes to that scene, I have to like fast forward or something. It almost makes me stop the movie because it hits me that hard.
Yeah, I can understand that. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And, once again, I serve too, but thank you so much, bro, for serving. And, I get thanks as well. But
Thank you both. You're a lot braver than I'd be. I wouldn't do it.
You're fine.
I don't have what it takes, to be honest.
The support is enough, and when it comes to the Air Force, I'm with Zod on that because they were fucking spoiled, man.
Glad it's universal.
I was, I mean, I have, some good friends in the Air Force and whatnot, but they were taken way more well care of than the Army was. When I was in Korea, our barracks that we stayed in, we called it Beirut because it was so ate up. And then we're walking down one day to the NCO club just to chill out, and we see this barracks. It's so nice. They got balconies and whatnot. They got little putt golf thing out in the front. And it's just these Air Force dudes. They're not officers or anything like that, just regular Air Force guys. And I'm like, what the hell? You guys get to stay in there, and we're over here in what we called our barracks Beirut. But it was all good.
We got some.
It was an Army Air Force base, basically. This one.
We got some good ones here. I cried during Walk to Remember. I know above that, Laura B said, "Nice Zod. I feel like a piece of shit." LOL. No, Laura B. Love you. The Planet Q's Queen had a quote that said, "The dock supervisor on the line. What does he want?" He says, "The Titanic just arrived. Welp, better late than never." That's a fucking hilarious one. Rose Matter said for Valley Girl, me watching Big Cage. Yeah, totally agree. Kim Ryan says the third man when he's shot by his friend at the end.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big one. Geekicidal Tendency says the last 20 minutes of Big Fish. I agree.
I haven't even heard of that movie.
You Can't Handle the Truth. Planet Q.
Wait, that makes you cry? You can't handle the truth?
I mean, some people can't handle the truth.
Oh,
Planet,
maybe it might be from a different conversation we were talking
yeah,
about.
the famous lines. Planet Q's Queen says, when Leo's dies in Titanic, I laugh because it was so obvious that it was going to happen. Everyone else in the theater cried, and I just laughed. Some of the girls saw me at school and asked why I did. I got mad after a couple of years, and why I got mad is because Mythbusters proved something. He could have fit on that fucking door. He could have fucking fit on that door at any time, Rose. There was enough fucking room. You killed Leo. You fucking killed Leo. There was no fucking scientific reason why you couldn't fucking have him on the Pope. He didn't have to fucking let go and do the big dramatic death. It was just in Leo's contract because Leo has to die in every fucking movie. So you just made him fucking die for no fucking reason. Fuck you, Rose. I'm still bitter about this till the very end. There we go. There's my rant. There was no fucking reason. No fucking reason for him to die. There was plenty of room, and she could have used his body or used her body to give his body warmth. There was no fucking reason he had to die. None. None whatsoever. Fuck you, James. Fuck you. You took a cheap shot at the heartstrings, sir. You took a cheap shot at the heartstrings.
I'm with you on that rant. I'm with you.
Well, I mean, come. Jesus Christ.
I know. It was huge. Damn door
It was.
like a.
It was. It was huge. There was enough.
It was bigger than a
fucking
twin
room.
size bed.
Yes. Planet Q's Queen said, actually, he couldn't because the door almost sank when he tried to get on it. No. Mythbusters proved that was bullshit. It wouldn't have sank. It wouldn't have sank. I don't care what anyone says. There was enough fucking room on that door. Okay?
Yeah,
Leo just said, you know what, James? I'm on this new thing where I want every fucking movie to kill me.
Not the same door.
I disagree. There was room proper.
No,
there was fucking room.
No, they didn't. No, it would have sank, man. No, not the same door. And
I mean,
also, like Mythbusters probably didn't do it completely
if
accurate.
anything, look, I used to surf, man. So if anything, that door would have, put their feet in the water, but they would still be able to float together.
Thank you,
what I mean?
Mega Jetty. I agree. Mega Jetty says, Cameron said the plot called for him to die. The problem was they didn't make the door the right size. Thank you.
It should have been a smaller door.
knew it. I knew it. There was something off about that fucking scene because I kept on thinking, in the moment and the Celine Dion music and all that shit, I was a little choked up.
Fine. You're right. Okay.
But
wrong.
It was still a nice scene, though, because he basically gave his life for her. That's
a person he just fucking met on one cruise. Like when you think about the whole concept of that story,
Hey, you know what? No, it wasn't just some cruise. No. It was,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
that was a solid 3-4 days of character development there. Come on.
Yeah,
Plenty
exactly.
of time.
No,
and that showed
the
his
most fucked
character.
up part is I just said the Titanic, one of the biggest accidents, one of the biggest fuck ups in American history. I said, well, he was on some Disney cruise. My bad. I'm sorry. I told you this was a crazy stream in the beginning. Somebody's gonna fucking comment me and go, did you just call a fucking historical tragedy some cruise, sir? Some crew. What are you, a jaded asshole in a cowboy hat?
Well,
and then you just reply to them like, "Oh no, it's just a movie."
No, they would be like, "Hey, Are you some jaded asshole in a cowboy hat? And I'd be like, yes.
You know what would have been?
Welcome
you know
to
what
the
would've been-
channel.
You know what would have been so funny now that I think about it? If James Cameron ever
Welcome to
goes
the
back
channel.
and somehow just puts like recuts or refinishes or refines, I don't know, whatever they do to polish up movies every couple of decades. One thing that I really want to see is like, you know, in the opening shot, they have like a bunch of the opening scene. You have a bunch of shots of the Titanic as it's rusted over 100 years later. What if they put an insert of the shot of the door?
Just to fuck with everyone.
Yeah, just to fuck with everyone.
Be like, wait, James, how come the door's smaller in that rusted? You know, time didn't fucking make that door that small. Come on, James. Now you're just trolling me. You're this
cold
guy.
did. You know everything shrivels up in the
Would
cold.
that come on? Would that not be the funniest like troll ever?
That I would laugh.
But what if he did that and never told anybody, and just people would go back and be like, "Oh, it was there the whole time." You know, that'd
The
be funny
door
too.
was actually small. Mega Jetty once said, Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, Cameron's Titanic is a poor man's Terminator. I mean, I don't disagree with that statement, Mega Jetty. I mean, you know, one's historical and one's a great piece of fiction, but there's valid argument there. Cage said, I hope they do a remake of the movie, The Titanic, and give it a whole different ending. Yeah, they'll make the female lead black or a different ethnicity.
Wait, why
Well,
was
maybe-
that funny?
They'll totally not have the original
the woke
characters
agenda.
because they're too white. They'll have the diverse female characters save the Titanic and rewrite history, so it never happened.
Non-binary.
The reason why the Titanic sank was because it didn't have enough diversity. That's what happened.
No.
Too many white people.
Exactly.
They were dumb.
It was. They were
Yeah,
all
they
white.
needed to
Almost
throw a
all
couple
of them were white.
Filipinos in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people who weren't white were in third class and died.
Yeah, that was
That's not. No, I'm serious.
actually when you think
No,
about
they
it.
were
Titanic
white,
is
but
fucked
they
up.
were the Germans.
Yeah, you had all the minorities and like the poor people in third class. Then you had like, you know, second class or second class, and then
Yeah,
first
look how
class,
much
you
fun,
know.
much more fun they were having though.
Oh, Sherry has
Oh, yeah.
just fucked up my mind. It's actually the first
surprised.
connected
Yes.
universe. It's connected to the Great
Oh,
Gatsby.
God.
I that doesn't sound believable to me.
No, Jack is Gatsby.
Now we
He
got a
survived.
multiverse.
No, and he doesn't go and seek out Rose. Bullshit. But he doesn't survive. No, he floated. He floated down. No, he sank. He sank to the bottom of the ocean. That you don't survive that.
Unless there's a wormhole.
I'm
down
sorry. I'm not shocking anybody when I say that. No, he's dead.
there. Oh, there was a
In which
wormhole.
universe is he alive? In what?
Justin, you
the
spoiled the movie
multiverse.
for me. I
Oh,
didn't
shut
know
up.
that
No, I
he
didn't.
died.
You mentioned
God
it.
damn it.
You mentioned it. You mentioned it. You said it.
He didn't
You're the one who revealed it.
die. He's
No,
just
in my
like,
head canon, he was very
cryostasis.
much alive, sir,
He's
because that
frozen.
fucking door fit
And that's
two
why
people.
you were so upset, because he survived and you wanted him to die. Is that with the whole Mythbusters say fuck you?
No, I wanted him to live. That's why I endorsed. Oh my God, Justin! I endorsed the MythBusters because we all know there was enough fucking room on that door. Even MythBusters said, you know, this doesn't quite seem right. Let's bust this myth, and bust it. They did.
Sherry, if we're
So
going with
they actually
Rose,
did bust the myth.
Yeah, there
They
was
did.
enough
That's-
fucking room.
Yeah, that was the point of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Oh, and the Jaws
tell.
thing. That doesn't work apparently. Oh, bye Zod. Good.
The
Now
Jaws
it-
thing.
Gary. That's what triggered him, Gary. It was Jaws. No, go away. We were having so much fun.
I know.
Yeah,
it was
like
so
I leave
fun.
you two crazy people alone on my stream.
Can we do that like as a tradition, just like for the last like 30 seconds, just us or something? I don't know. If we have like a moment, like why not let us have a moment?
God, now I want to leave because this is getting uncomfortable.
Justin, I
Just
will
Gary.
sing to you. Justin, it's gonna
Oh, what
be
the fuck is
just
happening right
now?
us.
Zod, we're having a moment. Could you please leave us a little bit of privacy?
Yes, it'll be just us proper.
Yes. Indeed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
my man. Come here, big boy.
All right.
Well, that's our show for tonight. Everybody have a good one.
Oh my God, we went there. Then we didn't hesitate.
Seriously. Come on, you gonna deny us that kiss?
Come on.
Fuck me. I said it was going to be a crazy show, and I did not know what was going to happen. I stated that at the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry,
By the way, man,
I didn't know we were going to go this far north.
Healy's a lucky
talking
woman.
about serving earlier. I found my old platoon picture
Oh.
from boot camp.
See, I would
I
have
know-
my
hold on.
service pictures, but my mom
you can't
confiscated them
find
all.
me.
Your mom confiscated
Oh
them
yeah,
all.
well, of course.
What?
She has
what-
to, man.
Why?
That's the only
What?
one that's gonna stay safe.
Come on, Justin.
This is when
you
I was
know
in.
why.
This is from when I was in Korea. But what sucks is see the where I was in Korea. It was up here.
Yep.
And it came unglued.
Dude,
That's
those,
what happens.
was
That's what
that
happens
the
when you
plaque
move
that
a
they
lot.
gave you, or did you transport it into something new?
No, that's the plaque they gave me.
Yeah.
And that's why
Okay, so this brings me to my other point. They are cheap as
the,
fuck.
where I was at. It's supposed to be up. Exactly. Yeah.
Man, that shit's supposed to last forever. That's bullshit.
One thing you'll find out about the military if you ever join is that whilst they can give us somewhat equipment to function, it's on the bare minimum of what you need to survive.
They
There were
spend
some
so
times
much
where I got gear and I'm like,
money.
is this fucking thing gonna work if I go out there?
What the fuck? I don't understand that. They have how much money do we fucking spend on our military each year? And
Oh,
that's the
God.
shit that
Okay, Justin,
We
you see
don't
those
even wanna
big
get into
fancy
that right
ships that they build, right? Which one was the newest one? Well, when I was in, the newest one they built was like the Bush, Junior, Little Bush. That's what we call it, Little Bush.
Seriously?
Anyways, right? So
Laura.
there's where your money went. The staffing and
Night, Nicole.
building that fucking cruiser took an exorbitant amount of money. So when it comes to equipping the people on the fucking boat, there's where all of a sudden we have a limited budget because
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
apparently a big fucking battle cruiser can run on a skeleton crew. Don't ask me how. We're fucked if anything happens substantial, I can tell you. Like, Mr. Gary, I don't know. Were you Marines or
no, Army.
Army? Yeah.
Yeah.
You weren't on, then you were riding our boats. Anyways,
Yeah, exactly.
but you know
My
how
dad's
what it's like
retired
on the
Navy,
ship.
though. Oh God, yeah, it's rough.
Like,
You guys like sleep in little coffins.
yeah. And you
You're
want to
right,
talk about
man.
fucking smelly. Try packing like 5 guys in one room in coffin, literally like picture taking a hammock and turning it into a bed And that's basically what we had with a little Foot Locker.
It's a
And you got the Foot
small
Locker if you were on the
box.
fucking bottom.
Are you guys all like cuddling each other or something with that little space?
Damn near.
No, they're like
I mean,
Like
like,
fucking gamble
they're like
good.
they're like bunk beds, but you only have this much room, so you can't even like sit up. You just got to roll out of it.
Oh, Sherry, I
Seriously?
know.
I've
James
seen
Cameron
those.
drew Rose nude pictures. You know what? I'd fucking draw Winslet too. I would do that for free. Cameron, you could have fucking commissioned me. I don't care what anybody says.
Wait a
I
minute.
think Winslet is fucking gorgeous.
we
What
can
the
draw
hell
her
is
right
the one
now.
fucking
He drew
atrocious.
that. Cameron drew
No,
that?
I can't. But
No,
they
Cameron.
could still commission
James
me to do
Cameron.
it. Huh?
Is she saying that James Cameron was the one that drew those
Rose, yeah.
pictures? Oh wow, that's pretty good.
I mean, I give him credit, but still, he could have hired me. I mean, it'd be a fucking stick figure and a waste of time.
No, I think he wrote the entire movie based around that moment.
I mean,
I think that's what happened.
I'm cool with that.
Sounds
Look,
like it.
Kate Winslet is gorgeous even to this day. This is the reason when I started noticing the media was a piece of shit, because the fact that they said she was fat and we all
What?
seen her just about naked. Yeah, I did an article on this. I've covered a lot of Kate Winslet things, and she is so fucking classy with the way she dissed them, because she talks about how she had a family and stuff like that, and she encourages her daughter to have positivity about who she is by having her look in the mirror and say how beautiful she is. And I think that is so fucking cool. I respect Kate Winslet on every fucking level you can respect someone. Anytime she does an interview, she does it at like home. So it's almost like you get to see who she actually is. Like, she doesn't try to hide it. And maybe she's putting on a show for the camera, but I don't get that feeling, and I respect her more for it. And if you guys haven't seen it, the reason why I got HBO Max, check out the show Mayor of Easttown. I think it's Easttown. Hold on, I got my HBO Max up here. Shameless plug for them, I guess. But it is a really good show. Let me see. It's Mayor of Easttown. It is a fucking phenomenal show where she plays an investigator, like chasing this serial killer. It is a fucking great show. She is such an underrated actress, and I'm so glad she got out of big Hollywood, big budgeted movies after that. All she does is independent roles, and good for her. She's a real actress. I have so much fucking respect for her.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course,
I agree.
Nick Cage, but for very different reasons. I mean, Nick Cage. Hold on, let me show you. Everybody, do you want to know why I've got such a possessed view of Nick Cage? Hold on, I'm gonna pull something up. Hopefully, I don't get pulled for this, but I want to play something for everyone because this is movie magic. I mean, this was where the obsession started. So
it's not
this
coming
is
up.
a classic scene, and I just wanna play this because this is the antithesis of what makes Nick Cage so fucking brilliant, and why I think I don't know. He's just really fun to watch. So this is from a 1988 film called Vampire's Kiss. And if you haven't watched it, it's hard to find. But definitely check it out because this is the funniest fucking scene ever constructed by anybody else. And kudos to this director. They literally had no budget for this movie. So here we go. This shit is fucking hilarious.
Oh, I know this.
Shouldn't, if a literary agency
Oh, that fucking
makes a copy
accent.
of every contract.
So just for context, if you guys don't know, what's driving him crazy in this movie, there's a lot of different things, but he thinks he's becoming a fucking vampire. Now, the character of this guy is he's basically a narcissistic douchebag piece of shit. And he's been looking for this one file. And there's this poor girl called Alma. And this person actually should have been mentally driven crazy. And I give her credit for sticking with this man. But he's explaining about how it seems to be impossible to misfile anything. So this is his explanation. And I'm doing the pause so I don't get pulled for showing a clip.
Every single contract it makes with the client, and then puts it in a file. The appropriate file.
Uh-oh.
Shouldn't the copy be in that file?
Yes, I suppose it should.
It should, right?
Yes.
Right? Yep.
Look at how he plays.
Yes, of course, it's somehow been misfiled.
But misfiled.
Misfiled.
Nope, that's not.
Sometimes somebody puts a document in the wrong file and then it's misfiled.
I actually agree with this, because that's bullshit.
What do you mean?
I don't know who exactly.
You don't?
What do you mean?
You don't?
Whoever filed it in the first place. But for God's sakes, Peter, I am not telling you one single thing you don't already know.
How could somebody misfile something? What could be easier? It's all alphabetical. You just put it in the right file according to alphabetical order. A, B, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. All you have to do.
Now, I want to pause for 1 second. This is so relatable because I
Okay,
swear
this
to
guy
God-
is really fed up with his coworkers. He's so fed up with it.
Like, come on. How many times have you seen something placed wrong and you say to yourself, how fucking hard is it? How fucking hard is it to put something back in the right? I don't disagree with him. It's fucking alphabetical. I mean, it's literally designed so you don't fuck up. So what makes this brilliant and why no other actor could play that scene
Yeah,
is
it's classic
because he's
Nick
so-
Cage right there, man.
he's so over the top, but what he's saying, it makes sense. And people can relate to it because how many people have fucked up and you had to go behind them and correct their mistakes. So it gets fucking better. Oh my God.
That's all you have to do.
Anything. Not once, not one time.
Oh god.
I want to know, really. Dad!
I know. I'll certainly tell you that.
Jack?
So I tell you.
Ah. You call yourself a psychiatrist.
I like how he just turns it off.
Kind of brighten you, isn't it?
Oh my god. That's classic.
He's like, yeah.
H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P.
He's like, I never misfiled anything. Not once. Not one time. Not ever. He's like, and then I love how he turns it to like,
That's all
you
you
know
have
who
to
did it?
do. I don't think I don't think I've ever thought of that of a line like that. Like that's all you have to do. Then that's the kind of frustration that goes through my mind whenever that kind of stuff happens at work. It's annoying. It's like, hey, all you have to do is this. That's all you have to do.
You have
one job. One job. That's it.
and
If you manage to screw it up,
this
all
is
you
the
have to do
brilliance-
is stand there and then do it.
and
Just
this-
do it.
the funny part is everybody said he overacted in that movie. The movie got panned, and it's a cult classic now, mainly for the
He
memes.
always-
But
That's his style, man. Shit.
But when you look at that, if you take that movie, right, here to me is the mark of a great comedy. Could you picture anybody pulling off that absurd of a character besides Nick Cage? Like, if you just
I
put
wouldn't
anyone
know of
else in
any.
that role, I don't think the movie works at all.
Maybe John Travolta, because they did a phenomenal job of
Face
playing
Off.
each other in Face Off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I
even
mean?
then,
Yeah, put two crazy people in a room. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Seriously, you
But
have,
I mean,
you have to
even
be
then,
you have to
though-
be nuts to be able to pull that off.
but
be
even then, though,
crazy.
I watched the scenes behind Face Off.
Yeah.
And Nick Cage actually had to coach John Travolta how to do his mannerisms. Because one thing about Nick Cage is certain directors, they know his kind of personality. So they just say, go crazy and do whatever. He ad-libs that. And for me, I think it'd be hard for an actor to pull off his performance exactly, because if you ad-lib it, it's your own thing. So some of his lines, I mean, in any movie, you can pick one. He's done a certain thing that even the director was like, what did you just do? And he's like, oh, I just did. And it just caught on. It's just he's got like, and you could see it in his personal life, right? With the way he tells a story during a regular interview or something like that. It's his personality. It's like the way he tells stuff, the hand gestures he makes, his body language. It's very distinct to the kind of person he literally is. And that's why when someone puts up an argument, oh, it's Nick Cage playing himself. Well, but isn't that acting? Actors put themselves in a character. I mean, sure, they're given a different name, the circumstances might be different, but there is essentially a piece of themselves in the character.
Yeah.
I mean, what
Kappa's here. Hey, Kappa.
Hey.
Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever. How you doing?
Hey, Kappa, how are you? Good to see you. Glad you could join us, especially when I started. Come on, you knew I was ending the stream with Nick Cage. I always got to talk about him at least once, because he came out with 4 movies. I haven't seen. I saw Pig, excellent. I haven't seen Ghostlands yet, but I'm sure it's going to be fucking fantastic. And he's got another movie coming out that we talked about that I'm even more excited about. The Weight of True Greatness. With Neil Patrick Harris as his agent.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's basically a comedy about his life with Neil Patrick Harris as his agent and Pedro Pascal as a obsessed fan who's the head of a drug cartel.
Really?
You can't get a better plot for a movie. I dare anybody to come up with a better off the wall plot than that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty off the wall, but very interesting.
Like, honestly, that's gonna be the best fucking. Coffee says, "Hi, I have been at vacation in Spain and working like always. I'm a little upset you didn't send me a ticket to Spain. Been there once, but I won't refuse another time to go there." Laura B. Will Smith is interesting. Will Smith is good when he's allowed to be Will Smith. And what I mean is, Will Smith has 2 weird problems. Either in a movie he's too Will Smith, or he's not enough Will Smith. I don't know if that makes sense. Perfect example.
That sounds crazy, but that makes perfect sense, though.
like perfect example. Bad Boys. That is the perfect, like, where he lives. Mike Lowry. That is Will Smith, but also Will Smith as a cop. Maybe. It is him, but it isn't. You know, it's like written around his strongest attributes. And then you have, like, what was that fucking movie they butchered? that I really fucking hate. Last
one
Man on
where-
Earth or some shit. Oh, I Am Legend.
Oh, I
Oh,
Am
that was
Legend.
great.
I fucking hate that movie.
I
It
kinda liked that
fucking
one.
raped
It was
the
all right.
original book. It fucking
It was based on a book.
I didn't care. I just liked it how it was. I
I-
prefer it that way. The book I didn't like.
I'll tell you one thing. I think that any adaptation, even the one with Charleston Heston, has been garbage. I know, throw your pitchforks at me, whatever. I think that every adaptation, I don't know why they still try to adapt this thing. They should just leave it the fuck alone. The best part, the reason why the book works, even if you don't like it, but the reveal that we are the minority and he's so sought after because the vampires need his blood, but yet if they kill him, they don't have it. So what happens to them? That's what's supposed to shock you, because then it gives context to the phrase I am legend. He's a legend because he's the last of this thing, because they killed everything that was him. He's the holy grail. It's the whole fucking point. When you just have another person who's a fucking human, that takes away. And then there's another community that takes away the whole concept and core theme of the book that made it a classic and scary to begin with. And think about that concept, right? You become a literal legend because you're the last food source of something that needs to eat you. That is fucking terrifying, right? So he's not a legend because of these great deeds he did. He's not a legend because he's cured cancer or anything like that. He's a legend because he's the last thing of what something else needs for a substance to live. So they're locked in this conflict where no side benefits, right? If the vampires kill him, they don't have a food source. You know,
I
if
thought his blood was the source of their cure.
No, that was fucking changed for the movie.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was better for it.
No, it sucked, because then that destroys the whole meaning of what the book's supposed to represent or what the story is supposed to represent.
yeah,
then
I've
you just
never
have a
read the
generic
book.
zombie movie.
Honestly,
No,
I didn't even know that was based on a book.
It was. It was based on a terrible book. It was garbage in its execution, and you know what? I didn't really think about that until just now. You described it very well.
Thank you.
Explained your case
Uh-oh.
very well.
Watch out now.
Surprisingly,
Here comes a rebuttal. Get ready. Come on,
I just disagree. I mean, honestly,
get him.
Just the book. The book just told it in such a bland and boring and unexciting way as humanly possible. And so,
Well, I mean,
therefore, I don't even care about what the meaning is in the book, because everything leading up to it it meant nothing. I'm just like, okay, so he dies in the end. Okay, great.
But see,
All right,
then
cool.
they shouldn't adapt the book and make it its own thing. See, here's the problem with
No,
the
that
argument.
is the perfect book to adapt, so you can make it a better thing.
No, because if you're going to adapt something, what does that adapting mean? You don't have to take everything. I don't agree with that. You don't have to take, every asset and make it the same, but you have to maintain the core theme, even if it's a shitty one you don't agree with. If you sign up for an adaptation, you are adapting the source, whether it sucks or not. It means the core themes of that to be a successful adaptation cannot change. That's why it's terrible to adapt. For instance, Bram Stoker's Dracula, right? That was a perfect adaptation, but not everything was the same from the original book. But what they kept is the core themes, which was the stories being told through the letters, who Dracula was, the fate of all the characters, right? But they changed stuff in there. They changed some of the things about Dracula. They changed some of the characteristics of what the fuck is his name and his driving goal. But that doesn't change what the story's about. The story still remains the same. The themes of the story don't change. Now, even if you don't like the book, that's a preference. But when you are a film director and you sign on to adapt something that most people love and respect the source, then you can't change the core theme, because once you change the core theme and even what the fucking title means, then it's no longer that story. It's not I Am Legend, it's I'm a guy surviving a zombie apocalypse. That's where my issue is, because if you don't like the story and you want to change it, that's cool, but don't title it the same story and take away the very meaning of what the title means, because they changed it on such a fundamental level that it doesn't mean the same thing as the title of the book anymore, and that means you're not adapting it. That means it's
but let's be honest.
It's I Am Will Smith.
The title "I Am Legend" that's a cool fucking title. It's better than Last Man on Earth. Like, that's so boring, and you know what it's about. But I can understand your point.
It's a tit for tat thing for me, man. Because I agree with both of you guys. Like, no, don't change something that's already established. But I haven't read the book, so I can't, really side.
Yeah, you don't have
that.
a baseline.
But yeah, you have a baseline, exactly. But with Justice for Justin defense, the movie was pretty well done, I thought.
I think even the movie itself is okay. Visually, it's nothing special.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess the character,
I thought it was pretty cool.
The only thing that's better than the book, or even as a movie for me, that makes it work. Remember when I said character makes the movie, right? Well, Will Smith's character initially, and even the marketing before it, like the shorts they did and stuff, that was initially interesting. Making it a virus that was intended to cure cancer, that's also very interesting. Where it falls apart for me is the fact that I don't feel the same sense of dread and danger that's present in the original story. Like, it didn't feel like there was stakes, because at the end of the day, his blood was the cure. There were the two people, and then there was a whole colony to get it, wrapped everything up in a neat bow. And once again, if you're adapting something that's naturally bleak and has a bleak ending, you're doing a disservice to the original product,
right?
Because you're giving people a fake ending that never existed. Therefore, it's not what you're adapting.
Yeah.
And that's the tricky line people walk when you're adapting something. It's the question we always have. It's the problem we always have with films that take IPs and change them, right? Justin, think about it in the terms of Star Wars. How'd you like The Last Jedi?
God.
That was their interpretation. They kept Luke.
The same. It's not.
It's the exact same thing. George Lucas made a story, and they changed it to fit their own narrative. We're literally making the same disagreement. That's what happened.
Same thing. You know it. You know that's bullshit.
It's the exact same thing. George Lucas established the story of Star Wars. That was his original work.
It's not the same thing. It's a continuation. It's not redoing or remaking.
Yeah, but it was a bad continuation. We can all agree on that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. This isn't the same as adapting I Am Legend and making it a superior story, because maybe the story that you're telling, the theme doesn't match this more superior film. And hey, what if instead of this whole theme being this, let's make it this, and it'll be better. People will like it more. By the way, most people who went to see it didn't read the book and didn't know.
Let me get a pinch.
There was a graphic novel that came out after, and thank you.
No one knew what it was. No one knew. Like most people saw the movie, didn't know.
Most people I talked to did have a rough idea. That's a bad assumption. A lot of people did know what the original story was, because the Omega Man came out and Last Man on Earth came out, which more people were thinking it was an adaptation of that. But those still follow the core concept of the book. That's my whole point. When you're adapting something, you still are constrained by the rules established by the person who created the story. And if you do that a disservice, you're spitting in the face of the author. You might as well not adapt it. That would be like if I came out. Why it offends me so much is because I write. If I came out, right, and a director came to me and they said, fucking love this story, man. This spoke to me. I want to take your story and share it, right? Because that's what a director is saying. They, on some fundamental level, love the story, and they want to take that story because they're so passionate about it, and they want to bring it to a wider audience. That's the point of adaptation. They want to take something not well known, as you stated yourself, and they want to make more people know about it. But when you dilute the original product, you're not taking the author's work and sharing it anymore. You're taking your own idea, and that's what you're sharing. And there's nothing wrong with putting some of your own ideas to make it more palatable for an audience to understand. But at the same time, it's not your idea. The fundamental root and basis of the movie is not yours.
It's bottom line plagiarism. Like you're
pretty much. It's plagiarizing an original work.
Yeah.
And look, there's nothing wrong. If the movie didn't have that title, I probably would have liked it more, but I still find gross flaws. And maybe I'll do a review and rewatch it, because there were other things that bugged me and different story beats that they dropped, and that fucking ending. I did not like the ending.
There was different endings too, though. You saw them?
Yeah. I liked the alternate ending where he didn't survive and it was more bleak. I thought that was closer. I would have been happy with that, because I still felt with the way they set up the character, he, it should have been a little bit more hopeless, because there's that hook. Like if you want to make a sequel or something.
Right.
But I feel like
they better not make a sequel to that shit.
Geekocidal Senesi says Jaws doesn't even follow the book to the point that the studio burned the screenplay they asked the author to write.
What?
I mean,
they didn't burn it.
I don't know the specifics of that, but
they basically they threw it out for the most part. Kept and that's another example of a movie telling a more superior story, as opposed to its source material. It's possible. We just named two examples: I Am Legend and Jaws.
Yeah, but then I can give you tons of examples that did do justice, but they did what you said, but they just kept the core story.
Sure.
I mean, I think it's an argument.
It just depends on the project. It depends on the story. It depends on the book, and it depends on your personal preferences. And mine is I prefer I Am Legend the movie over the book. Same with Jaws.
I'll be honest with you, I like Jurassic Park the movie over Jurassic Park the book. And there's some big fundamental changes between Jurassic Park the movie and the book.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, to me, I like the movie better. So I can kind of see your argument. But
also with Jurassic Park, it doesn't feel like the characters are complete. It just, maybe that's because I watched the movie first and I can't help myself, but
well, that's a fair point.
Geekocidal Tendency says it's figurative, improper, thought that was beyond obvious.
Yeah, well, I mean, typically, as with anything, any movie based on a book, the book is usually always better.
Dean Jacobs just said, did he say I Am Legend was better than the book? Gasp. I know.
Your ass, I did. Yeah, absolutely.
Look, here's the thing.
The book was boring and
just
book. It felt uneventful. That sense of dread, I felt that throughout a lot of the second act of I Am Legend. In that movie, it was.
But see, that's my problem.
It got intense.
That's my problem, though, Justin. When you set that up, Hollywood did the Hollywood thing, and they took the safe ending. They should have kept that up, and that's my problem in general with the genre of horror that comes out, and that is a horror movie. I don't care what anyone says. It's a horror movie, even though there's action. I would say that's mostly thriller. I'd lean towards horror. Those are not earthly creatures. they're stalking people. They're
I don't know.
killing them.
Would you consider War of the Worlds a horror movie?
Fuck yeah! If I woke up
Okay.
and there was a fucking alien eye looking out at me, I call that sci-fi horror.
Okay.
Fuck that, man. That Tom
Sci-fi
Cruise
horror.
War of the Worlds, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was
the-
good too.
The visuals were spectacular, and that one fucking scene
Mm-hmm.
where they're all huddled up in that little fucking
In the basement?
and that creature comes in, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
in the theater when I saw that, and it
Oh,
was
God.
I almost had to look away.
You both.
I also
Oh,
saw I think I
wow.
saw The Village the same year, and that was also boring and terrifying at the same time.
look here. I don't care what anybody says. M. Night Shyamalan is gold because that man only has 2 modes he operates in, and everyone bear with me.
Ooh, except
can
for
love
when he
him or
did
hate him.
Avatar.
But M. Night Shyamalan only has 2 modes of making a film. Either it's really fucking bad or it's really fucking good. There's nothing ever in between. If you
Right.
ever look at that man's reviews,
He's-
even
he
from
told me
audience
black and white.
members,
Yeah.
every fucking movie is split down the middle, pun intended. Even Split, which most of us agree was his return to form. there
For a
was-
second. For a
It-
second.
No, I disagree. Old was good. I just saw that. And what did he do
I'm
after that?
sorry,
No,
I couldn't help myself. He was in a drought for a while.
he was. The Happening is one of the best movies ever made. That movie is the greatest fucking comedy I've ever seen in my life. That movie is the best comedy movie anybody has ever made. And I'll give you a line from that movie. Well, Tommy, it's all about the bees. There's something wrong because of the bees. Don't you like science? Science is so cool. Science is the best. Come on, guys. Science. Who the fuck told Mark? What the
Oh,
fuck?
shit.
What's the direction?
Science.
What direction did that man give to Mark? I saw this fucking outtake, right? Where Mark Wahlberg goes up to M. Night Shyamalan. They stop the shoot, and he goes, yeah,
That was a pretty good
I
impression.
just
by
got
the
a
way.
question. Why the fuck are we going in here into this house with people who are probably armed to get food when there's tons of abandoned houses? And Shyamalan just starts laughing. Like he realizes this is a stupid fucking idea, and he's like, Mark, just fucking act.
He didn't have to act. He was just being Mark.
He acted perfectly because he was confused the entire movie.
Everybody, how do you take a fucking treasure like Zoe DeGeneres, who is in one of the fucking funniest shows I've ever seen, The New Girl. I love that fucking
no,
show.
Zoe
That is a good
Deschanel.
show.
Whatever, show
No,
Zoe
not
Deschanel.
Deschanel. What the
Whatever. Zoe Deschanel. Proper, it's fucking
She's
almost 3 in the
great.
morning for me.
No excuses.
It's almost
no
4 in the
mercy.
morning for me.
like the thing that I love about that movie, is that there is some horrendous shit in there that could be good, but the way he fucking chose to shoot it, like with that guy, the best kill of the movie, when that guy just goes into a fucking lion's den and holds his arm out like this, I pissed my pants laughing in the theater. I laughed so hard I almost got kicked out. That movie was a comedy. I'm convinced that wasn't a horror movie. People reviewed it wrong. They reviewed it like it was supposed to be serious. If you look at that movie as the greatest comedy ever made by someone, fucking 10 out of 10. Perfect. Fucking
He was
perfect
not trying
comedy.
to make a comedy. Come on. I'm not convinced. I'm not quite there yet.
I'm gonna go a little bit frou-frou on you guys. What do you guys think of the? We're gonna go WB here. Superman and Lois.
Nope, haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Superman and Lois.
No, and I, you know what? I'll be perfectly honest. Superhero crap is not really. It's not my thing. I've kind of.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I like some MCU stuff. I just watch it because everyone else is watching it. To be honest, But I don't have HBO Max, and I don't have time for
Nah, this
any of
is
that.
just like
Sherry,
WB stuff.
interesting story
You
about
can
Devil.
No.
And I
stream
just
that for
wanted
free.
to address this because this comes out
Oh,
a
that's
lot.
the elevator movie. How was that?
It's a good movie, but Sherry, here's the trick about that movie. M. Night Shyamalan didn't write the story. He produced it, and that's where people get tricked. I've seen every M. Night Shyamalan movie because I'm a fucking huge fan. I always, when I go into a movie, I go, okay, Lee, is he going to fuck this up royally, or is he going to make a classic?
He
I
can do
brace
both.
myself. Either I'm gonna laugh a lot, or I'm
Cry.
going to, or it's going to be actually good. I'll tell you something though. That movie Old, if you haven't seen it, it's kind of weird at the ending. I don't know if he quite stuck the landing, but I will say it's an interesting premise, and there's one scene that will terrify you if you ever think about getting pregnant. And I'll leave it there. That scene
Ooh.
fucking horrifying.
I don't like that. I don't like how you
And
left with that.
no, what's worse about this setup is the implication of the two people who have sex to have the child.
Why would you? Okay.
I'm just saying, if I piqued your curiosity, watch the movie and then tell me what you think, because I think I'm gonna do a review.
What is it called again?
It's called Old. Basically, everybody goes on this
No,
island.
no! Don't tell me anymore. Okay.
Yeah, the premise is everybody goes on this island, but time doesn't work the same, and they start aging really fast, and you don't know why or what the fuck's going on. And there's some pretty fucking horrifying scenes in that movie, but there's
That's actually a very creative idea. That I'm actually surprised. I thought about that. It's like something that a child would think of, like not in a bad way, but it's just like, you know,
it
how
is
kids
based
like
on a
ask-
French graphic novel, but I mean, it's fucked because there's some things I give him points because there's some things he does in the PG-13 movie where I was like, how the fuck did you get away with this rating? Because there's a strong implication in the film, something that happens where I'm like, wow, Hollywood today let that slide. But to be fair, he funded this movie out of his own money. If you guys want to know how he came back, M. Night Shyamalan, surprisingly, is not very broke. He's actually very smart with his money. So all the movies he makes, he funds himself. I think
didn't know
Glass
that.
was Glass was the only one that had some outside funding, but other than that, Split, The Visit, Glass, Old, he funded all of those movies out of his own pocket. He's
Good for him. Shit. That's
yeah. So none of them studios distribute them, but he doesn't get funding from anyone anymore. That's how he's able to make the movies he wants to. And the reason why The Happening came out so shitty and Avatar was because those were specifically hindered by the studio. Avatar especially. What people don't know about Avatar is that most of his ideas got cut from the movie.
Really?
I don't think, because the actors sucked, I don't think it would have been better, but he had more of the cartoon story in his film, and the studio made him cut it out. So, fun fact, I mean, that's why he got out of Hollywood. If you notice, a lot of his stuff isn't bankrolled by major studios anymore. It's because he funds his own shit. He got tired of dealing with corporations. They hindered a lot of his movies. I mean, believe it or not, Sixth Sense, they weren't going to originally let him do that twist. They thought it was too scary or whatever.
Scary? It's too scary.
No. So here's the thing. It's PG-13, right? It was interesting. Watch his interview about the movie on the DVD. Apparently, they didn't want him to do the twist ending because they felt like it left things kind of bleak, and it was the time where they were making those bullshit ghost stories where everything wraps up happily, they defeat everything and stuff like that. But in that movie, Bruce Willis's character doesn't really have a happy ending when you really think about it, right? It kind of makes you think. And he had to fight to keep that ending in. And thankfully he did, because it became one of the most iconic endings of all time. And that's the problem he's always had, is that the studio sometimes doesn't allow him to, and you know, sometimes when they do, it turns out bad, like Lady in the Water. I have no excuse for that movie. How the fuck do you fuck up a movie with Paul Giamatti? I don't understand that.
Well, first off, you have Paul Giamatti. That's how you fuck up.
You know what? You know what, Proper? Get the fuck out of here. Paul Giamatti is great. Are you kidding
No,
me?
he is great. I was teasing. He does. For some reason, people make fun of him a lot, but
That's because directors don't know how to use the poor guy. He's such a great actor, and they waste him.
He was fantastic in the Mary Poppins movie.
I mean, look at him in that show, Billions.
No, wait, no, it was the Mary Poppins. He was saving Mr. Banks.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, I wasn't making that up.
But
That's it, guys. I'll keep listening.
yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping stuff up. So this is
Yeah,
a good place.
I'm
We
getting
can
a
go.
little loopy myself. Yeah.
Yeah, and I gotta get to bed because I promised the lady I would be
all right.
too late. So thanks everybody for joining us on our random conversation. Hopefully you had fun. We had no
yeah.
topic. If you guys like this, or anybody who rewatches it, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about tonight's stream. I had a ton of fun. Every now and again, we like to cut loose. I had a great panel for it. PB was there strong until about an hour and a half in.
No,
But
he
bless
was
his
asleep
soul.
when I got it.
He hung in like a champ for a little while there.
No, I didn't hear him once when I was on.
Oh,
What are
you
you
didn't?
talking about?
Well,
He
that's
was
because you
probably
came
already-
like 2 hours late.
Yeah.
No, I came in like an
And
hour
if you
15
guys-
in, and he was
You
out.
guys got to check out his stream that was right before this one too. Go to PB's channel and check out that one too. It's a lot of fun. Loads of fun.
Yeah,
Zod was
go
on
check
there
out
as
Pop
well.
Culture PB.
Yeah, Pop Culture PB. Check out the Justin Proper. Absolutely.
Check out Gary.
Nah.
Look at him.
I'm just I just troll everyone else's live streams. That's all I do. But I'm mostly on Keely's channel. Keely Talks. If you guys don't know who Keely Talks is, go to Keely Talks. She's like a medium. She does a lot of spiritual stuff. She does pop culture stuff as well. But yeah.
Oh,
thanks for that.
and Dad is doing good. We have
Yeah? Oh,
separation
good.
on our channel because he covers mafia stuff and he's got kind of a crazy crowd. God bless them, but it's not my scene. So he's pretty happy over there. And if you get into like true crime kind of shit with mafia things going on and feuds in real life over YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, I gotta check.
You
that
can go
out.
check out his channel. He's got some good stuff over there. But I like to keep everything chill and like this. So, we kind of started doing our own thing just because the way I approach things and the way he approaches things are kind of different. And when it comes to movies and these topics we talk about, we think about things differently. He's very straightforward and kind of black and white. As you guys know, I like to do film reviews, and part of that is being analytical and taking my personal bias out of it. So we clashed on a lot of things, and it made our personal relationship a little bit strained. So it was good we got a bit of a separation, but he's doing great, got monetized, and I love my dad. I'm great. I'm glad, he's doing big things over on his channel. So
That's good. I think he
for
just
me-
couldn't take the fact that you were saying Neil before Zod. I
or
never
that I
think you like
curse.
that.
And that's the bad thing with working. Like, if I had my mom on, different Zod, I wouldn't drop an F-bomb because she would literally try to slap me through the camera.
Yeah.
So I gotta be able to say fuck and shit and damn and bitch and stuff. That's just who I am. You know, sometimes if something fucking sucks, you gotta say it fucking sucks. Like, you have to say, oh gosh darn it, it was just terrible.
Oh golly gee willikers.
Gee willikers. This is just turned into the really white hour. Anyway.
The white hour? What?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry. I misrepresented
right.
Gary.
I'm a quarter white. It's all good. I got two types of white in me, Irish and French.
Wait, what?
One of
seriously.
those kind of like everyone has a friend who says they know a Hell's Angel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Well, he interviews legitimate gangsters. The thing is, that's not really my scene. I don't want... That crowd is a little rowdy.
Yeah, but they're fun.
They
like
that's
having
not what I
fun.
mean.
What, do you not like having fun?
No, what I mean by that... What I mean by that is trolling, causing conflict with each other in the chat, that kind of thing. And we already went through that once, and I prefer not to ever fucking do that again.
What, trolling? What's wrong with trolling?
You know what I mean, proper.
I mean, I kind of
Astrid, you
do,
take
but
care, Astrid.
Oh,
I mean,
see you
all
later,
right.
Astrid.
Good night.
Anyways, everybody have a wonderful evening. Remember, there's only one rule here in the Phantom Zone.
No.
Yep.
No.
Hold on, let me get ready.
Boo. Boo.
Kneel before your Lord and Savior, Nick Cage.